Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
This is Travis speaking.
Jake, is that you?
Yeah, I'm feeling very sick, and Annie and I went out to the ranch, and
You and Annie went out to the ranch?
yeah, the one that we own.
The ranch that y'all own. Y'all own a ranch?
Yeah.
Jake?
Several ranches, actually.
What big teeth you have.
Very
what
good
big
at MTG
eyes
Finance.
you have. Chat. What's up, everybody? Good evening. It's a Wednesday. It's the Jake and Joel Are Magic show. Except tonight,
And I'm Jake.
we have a guest. Our buddy Jake is sick in bed. Everybody F's in chat for Jake's health. Typically, it's me who's the sick one, but tonight it is Jake. F's in chat. Get well soon wishes in chat and F's in chat. I've got a guest filling in for old Jacobine tonight, and that's Mr. Travis. Travis, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm hoping that I can live up to the standards of old Chucklebean. Did you say Chucklebean? Is that like a pet name for him?
I like Chucklebean. I didn't say Chucklebean, but I think I'm gonna start saying Chucklebean because Chucklebean is kind of, it's one of those nicknames that by the third time I feel like it gets under somebody's skin, and that's a good nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we were both suffering from Jake's absence this week because I was trying to get him into. I'm going to draft Brothers War and DMU tomorrow to try to hunt standard cards with some friends.
Nice.
And I was going to try and get Jake in on that, and then he was like, "I'm sick," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yes, he is
and then
very
I got a message
sick
from you, and I thought, "Oh, there you go."
There you go. Yeah, man, he was a trooper today. He took the meetings off camera, but like on his phone, laying on his bed. We did the work, and he was like, "I'm going to bed. I'm not streaming tonight." And I was like, "No problem, dude." So Travis, we thank you for being here. Chat, we got a lot of good things to talk about tonight. Obviously, Duskmourn is well underway. Tons of stuff to talk about with Duskmourn. Kind of cool looking set. What's your like general impression, Trav?
Yeah, so one, I'm just terrified of these cards for the most part. There's
Too
like
spooky.
some very cute. There's some very cute and some very fun cards, and then there's also just some cards that are terrifying. And so that is something that will be interesting for me. I don't normally watch a lot of horror films, so
I'm not a horror
some of
guy
this stuff
either.
is a bit spooky. Yeah.
I like psychological stuff that's good character study. Like Jake was like, "So you don't like horror films?" And I was like, "Generally, no." Like Blair Witch creeped me out when I was younger, you know. But the movies that I really like are like the Babadook. You ever seen that one? It was a Netflix horror movie.
I've not seen that one.
It's good. It's more of like a character study of family and trauma, and it's spooky. Like there is a thing. It's a horror movie, but it was really good. But generally, it's not my thing either. But I have been really enjoying the previews. I think that some of the cards look really cool. Sweet designs. Kind of a nice surprise to get a set like this at the end of the year here, even though we have, I think, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 sets yet to come in 24.
That's true. Yes. No, I mean it is in some ways because like the last thematic set of the year, right? Because we don't have like a commander drop of Universes Beyond. We don't have another standard or straight to modern premium set or whatever. Foundations is the only thing that's really on the horizon, and that is, while I'm looking forward to checking it out, it's not going to have the same sort of through line of theme from what I can tell as this. So I'm excited for it. I think even as I'm a little spooked out by some of the cards, Bloomborough I enjoyed, but especially thematically, and I liked a lot of what it did for Commander.
Yeah.
But as somebody, I play a lot of Limited, and I kind of got burned out on Bloomborough Limited pretty quick. So I'm excited about some of these cards feeling a little more wild, I guess is what I would say. So I think that's going to be really fun.
It is wild to have the aesthetic of Duskmourn right on the heels of the aesthetic of Bloomborough, and that's been said ad nauseum. But they just showed off Pyroclasm in the last couple of days, which is a classic magic spell 2 to all creatures for 2 mana. And it's wild. It's so funny, just the aesthetic whiplash. And now we go from tiny little mice and salamanders and lizards. Pyroclasm!
Those bunnies are going to get burned.
It's great, man. It's great. But yeah, we're going to go over Duskmourn at length, chat. Want to mention our sponsors real quick. We are supported over here by Card Conduit. Best place to sell your cards. Take all your MTG cards you don't want over $1. Go sell them to Card Conduit. Drip Shop, where you can find us live. We'll be live on September 21st, and we've got a special show for y'all. Our live show on the 21st is going to link to a video that comes out next week. And so it's all going to kind of be one multimedia Jake and Joel experience. Look forward to that one. Mark your calendars. Saturday the 21st, we'll be live over there on Drip Shop. TCG Player, of course, to buy your cards, use our link before you check out. Dragon Shield's the best sleeves. MTG Stocks track the prices of your cards. And Moxfield, where we put our deck lists. And Travis, where we play our first game of every stream. Welcome to the Jake and Joel show, Trav. Now you have to think.
You did not tell me we were going to be doing this.
Oh, we're using our brains here.
Games, but I did not know that I would be held accountable for this.
Absolutely. You being the guest, I do need a 5-letter word, any 5-letter word. What's that?
House.
House. Let's go with house, chat.
You guys always start with crazy stuff that I feel like is not.
We try to go crazy.
Helpful.
Chat.
But like you use.
Oh,
okay. Well,
Trav, we're gonna give you a mulligan on this one. That was just a really good way to find letters that are not in the word. Chat, what we're doing right here is we're playing Moxel. We play 3 games at the beginning of every stream. Moxel, Spellify, and our trivia game. Get your phones out and get ready to participate in that. Our first game is Moxel on Moxfield. It's like Wordle. You guess 5-letter words. If we had gotten a yellow letter, it would have indicated that that letter's in the word, but in the wrong place. And if we had gotten a purple letter, it would have indicated it's the right letter in the right place. So let's try again. We eliminated 3 vowels. I don't think that was a waste of a turn at all.
No, not at all. But now I don't know where to go from this because every word I'm thinking of has at least one of these letters in it. And I know you guys will sometimes reuse letters, but I'm a strong advocate of not reusing letters.
I like that. I'm thinking something with something like this. I don't know. Obviously, trail. Yeah, let's try trail.
Yeah.
How about that?
I think trail is good.
Some combination of these letters. Daggum, Trav. Okay.
We're playing on hard mode.
Seriously, this is.
You know what, Joel? You know what? It's the same thing that you guys always encounter. It's gonna be a name. I know it's a name.
Oh, there it is, Jake. He took over for you in spirit.
It's always a name
and physically.
It's gonna be some name we've never heard of.
The A is in the word, but in the wrong place. We do know this now.
Okay. So let's see. Okay.
I don't want to freak you out, but we're gonna have to probably use a Y here as a vowel because we have no vowel except for an A. We got potentially a double A situation, maybe a little Y involved, sometimes W if we're getting nuts.
Yeah, this is wild.
Seriously, it is.
I love that the one that I am playing is the one where, yes, I think it's going to be a consonant and an A, a consonant and A.
Yeah.
Like there's like manas. We already have used S, but something like that.
I'm just trying to put letters up. No, chat, that is part of our stipulations here is we do banish you, Trav. I forgot to say that, but you're already on it.
Yeah. So chat, if you're there trying to help us, we cannot see.
It is something.
Yes. Name not all right, so yeah, it's definitely, I feel like it's got to be a double A. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Neither an English word nor a magic related word.
That's the trick of
I think the most difficult part of this game, that because I've never played this before with you on stream, it's not actually the thinking of the word. It's the making sure that the stream does not go silent while you're trying to think of the word, because I just want to stare at it.
I know.
And silence.
You do have to talk it out. I do find it helps to talk it out. What letters? Like, obviously, I'm thinking D-A-N-Y. I think this. Yadan. N-A-D-Y.
Yeah, I'm just. Like, I feel like the N or the M is interesting.
It's gonna have to. Honestly, I think we've hit a name. I will acquiesce that it is going, or it's gonna be some really. Wait. Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, or it's gonna be some really easy word like candy. Yes, A and N are right letter, right spot. We are almost out of letters. Okay.
Yeah.
GAN.
Could you do like WAN something? WAN.
WAN.
Banan. But. Yeah, this is we're so it's so funny. Okay, wait, what about the V? VAN.
That okay.
Vanna.
Vanex? Is that it? Why does that look like a Magic character's name? It's not. Vanax.
Yeah. Xanax? It could.
It's not Xanax.
The new Xanax.
I feel like creature. I need some right now, but
I mean, with Duskmourn on the horizon, there should be a Xanax token that you can take.
Xanax. I tried even the wrong spelling. Man.
Yeah, the mana, like the mana is a big word in Magic the Gathering. So if there's a way for us to just add something to the end of it, that could be cool.
Manas. This is Jake and I, we were between starting a YouTube channel or a 2-guy boy band called the Manas that only wrote boy band pop songs about Magic the Gathering. Mm-hmm.
You could perform at Magic Cons. They already did a musical.
Hey everybody, we're the Manas.
Wow. Okay.
Mana screw me over.
I feel like I have received the hardest one that we've.
Yeah, it is. You did not show up on an easy week.
Yeah.
It is not exactly like we typed in house and they rewarded us.
Jake should feel happy that he.
Yeah, he was like, I already did the Moxnell today, bro. I know it and I won't get it.
Yeah. Ganon. Is that from the Universes Beyond Secret Lair with Zelda?
GANON. We haven't gotten to that. We haven't gotten to that secret layer yet.
Pan.
Oh man, this one is
Panga. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
It's got to be an A after the N. So it's
GANA. Ganax. That's what it is. That's a name.
There we go.
Ho! We got there. We did it.
That was stressful. That was very stressful.
Ganax. Gotta look it up.
All right.
Obviously.
So how early did people get it?
Astral Hunter. Whenever Ganax, Astral Hunter, or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a treasure token, and you can choose a background to have an uncommon Ganax Astral Hunter.
I played so much.
Oh, nice.
Battle for Baldur's Gate, and I feel like I've never seen this card before. I wonder if it's in like the commander set and not the main set or something.
Hey, before we swap over to our next game, Swaggy asked if you're burned out on Limited because of play boosters.
Am I burned out on Limited because of play boosters? No, I think that with Bloomborough, it's more about the idea that a lot of the archetypes I don't think are very fun to play. Like, so the best one is green white rabbits in the set for the most part, and I find it pretty boring to just go wide and then wait for the pump spell to come in and then swing. But also I do feel like it is very difficult to, like, it very much rewards figuring out what your lane is early and getting into it, and if you make the wrong step early on and you end up with kind of a pile of cards that are like decent but not synergistic, it can be very, very rough. I've also just had a lot of games where I'm like, this deck looks really good, and then I go in and just get crushed by like somebody who found everything they needed, like
some
every rabbit card,
semi-constructed deck.
Yeah, so it's just I think that's been kind of my bigger frustration with Limited, and I enjoyed it in the beginning. It's just I don't think it did not evolve as much as I wanted it to. I have heard some people have figured out how to play It very late in the game, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to play it earlier. That was the archetype that was most interesting to me, and early on most people felt like it was
otters
that archetype. So Yeah.
I remember Otters getting called the worst archetype in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a bummer for me because one of my favorite archetypes that I've ever played was the Lord of the Rings Izzet, where you're just like casting all these cantrips and like pummeling them down. I wanted it to be good in the set, and again, apparently now because so many people are passing those cards, you can build a pretty good deck. So maybe I'll try to do that. But that's the other thing is like, it's all about you have to figure out there's not a lot of ability to force something, which is probably pretty good, but it's also like you need to figure out exactly the one thing that the draft is telling you to play, and if you don't, it's rough. So I don't know, I'm just excited for something else.
In my very limited experience with Bloomborough Limited,
your limited experience.
Hey, I've done 3 drafts on Arena of it, so very anecdotal here, but I've never had a format reward me as much as Bloomborough, just going sky high, just drafting flyers, only going flying birds, bats, things like that, because there's not a lot of, there's more reach. I think I've seen more reach on some creatures, but there's not a lot of spell help with flying. Again, very limited anecdotal evidence here, or experience here. Wouldn't even call it evidence, but just going sky high, drafting flyers has really been D strategy. Whereas a lot of times they've sort of cut that off as a lane because it's kind of predictable. They got to balance that out.
Yeah, I think blue-white is not that great, but I do think Orzhov Bats is really fun to play and can be pretty good if you get the right stuff. I do like sort of the tension of like losing and gaining life on so many turns.
I built a sweet Brawl deck out of that Zoraline out of the Bat Legend.
Yeah, Zoraline is great. She's also showing up in Standard now, which is pretty neat. I played against somebody who had a Standard deck that used her, and that was pretty strong. So. Resurrection on a creature ETB, I'm pretty sure, right? Doesn't even have to attack, but it does it again on the attack. That's pretty sweet. Yep.
All right. Second game of the night. By the way, do just want to make a note for posterity. Jake, if you're watching this after the fact, it was a freaking name tonight, dude. You didn't show up for the name. What can you do?
It's always a name,
Chat, the second game we play is called Spellify. This is Hangman Guess the Card. We are trying to just guess what this card is, but we get to play Hangman along the way. We get 13 guesses, and that 13 guesses includes our guesses of the name. So we need to get the name right and spell it right.
So this is the one that I struggle more with whenever I'm watching your guys' stream.
The Spellify?
The top, yes. The top right, does that mean that it's 3, I'm going to use the word pips, even though I know it's controversial in this chat.
It's not controversial in this chat. We've established it pretty clearly. The head of everything and like the squire of all of Magic responded to me. He's like the knight. What would you call Gavin? He's not the king, but he like travels around. I wouldn't call him a jester.
Yeah, I don't know. He's the hand.
Herald. Yeah, exactly. He's the hand of WotC.
Yes.
Maro's the.
But anyway, does this mean that those are 3 pips, or is that? Could it be anything?
It could be a 1 and 2 pips. It could, it could be 3 pips here.
Okay. So
I am
we
thinking,
at least have 2 pips.
Mael? No. This to me seems like an Alara creature, just off the rip. Alara was a shards block, which are the 3 color pairings. And so you've got, I think, a 3, I would guess, but I'm coming up short trying to think of a 4-letter Legends name.
Because it's a name and then a title, right? So it's got to be.
But I was thinking like Rafiq, but it's not that. I was thinking like.
This is if it is for Alara, it's doomed for me unless this is like some commander card that's very popular.
HUMAN, no. DRAG.
You can just type a letter in, right, and see what pops up.
Yeah, we can guess letters.
What are the let's work on this together, even though I don't know Alara.
Sure.
Are there names of? Were there like creatures specific to each shard in this block?
Yes.
Because there were like cats, right? Because that's where what's his face comes from.
Yeah. There
the
are.
Planeswalker.
Yeah, Bant.
Because I'm wondering if like if we use legendary creature and then we type in a letter that we think would be from that creature type from one of the shards, we could maybe figure it out that way.
Yeah. Human and dragon is not Wizard. No. Vampire. Okay, so it's not vampire.
Okay.
And we only got one letter. That was a terrible. I should have gone with V. I should have gone with like P. In fact, well, I'm glad we didn't, because then now it still looks like vampire again. Let's look at R. All right, there we go. Now we got a little bit to work with.
Okay.
Looking at this.
There's a lot of R in the title.
Yeah. R. Okay.
Okay. I want to go back to the creature type, right? Because like we should be able to figure it out from this.
Serpent.
What is?
Oh, it's a serpent.
Something. Serpent.
There you go. So this is oh my God! Come on. This is.
Is the second word serpent?
No, because it would be the S would be there. This is serpent.
This I will not remember.
Oh,
so it's all you here. What's a legendary creature serpent from this? Is it Alara or is it from a different set?
I don't think that serpent is from Alara. That hunch was off. Let's see if this is a big boy. It is not a big boy.
Do we want to? It's probably blue green, right? I feel like most serpents are either green or simic.
Yeah, probably so.
But that probably doesn't help us because it sounds like you know what creature this is supposed to be.
I don't know. I don't know because the name. Look at this right here. What is this dash? This dash is so strange to me. I'm not sure why it's throwing me off so bad. Oh, it's gonna be a passive ability like Eminence or like Domain or something like that. Like Delirium in this new set. It's not Delirium.
What could it be?
It's not Spell Mastery because it's not.
So it's a passive.
SCRP,
no,
EMT.
Not Madness because that would have an S.
Triggered ability. It's not cycling, that would have a cost. Could be landfall. That's landfall. That's
okay.
landfall.
So what is a serpent that has landfall on it?
It's AC. Oh, what is it? AC something.
This is a card I have never heard of before in my.
It was Commander.
This is where my newness to Magic comes through.
This is the box. This is the Precon Commander, I think.
Oh.
Empire? No, that's not right. AC Tyrant. Thank you. Joel's brain of something straight. It's like lie. I forgot that it's not going to tell me if I'm right. Tyrant.
I mean, we could guess another letter.
I'm thinking this is what it is. No. Oh, hang on.
No, you typed it wrong at the end. It's a T.
STRAIT.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on Gyre. I think that could be like liar. Got it.
Oh,
hey.
That was it. Good job. Okay, you definitely carried me there.
Special shout out to Oracle Text, by the way. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Is there a version with the word landfall printed on it?
There must be, right?
There has to be if they're presenting that to us.
It is kind of funny, though, that there's a difference between the two.
No. There's the list in Commander Legends.
Oh, Wow.
That's so weird. They put.
Could they have updated? Like,
no, there's got to be a version. This is just. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't put Landfall on here. Maybe for like ease of use because it was the pre-con commander. But hey, you want to see what happens when you don't reprint a popular pre-con commander? Oh, it goes to $38 when you could have gotten the whole pre-con for $30 when it was out. Hooray. Chat, we got one more game that we start off every stream with. You know it, you love it. It's trivia. Get your phones out.
I love to just mock you from the chat.
Nah.
And this time I will not be able to.
You didn't say the magic word. Make a little adjustment on my desktop. Don't show off the secrets. We can't show off the secrets. Don't wanna talk.
I'm excited about this though. I'm excited to be able to do this in person. But I'm more worried. But I am stressed about what it will mean.
Don't be stressed, boo. All right, chat, get in there. Pull out your phone. We're playing trivia. Jank created our trivia for us this week. Jank, big claps in chat for Jank. Spec was fully ready. Jank just did it. Stepped in there. Took control. Chat, it's kind of like a Jackbox if you've ever played that. What you're going to do is get out your phone, scan that code, or go to play.triviamaker.com on your phone. Enter code 883195. You can get into tonight's game.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Is there? Do we know if there's a theme for this one? I know Spec in the past.
Yeah, let's find out. I've got Jank. Let me grab the boa. Jank, can you hear us?
I can. What's up, bro?
What's up, brother? How you doing tonight?
Good, man.
Thanks for creating trivia for us.
No problem. I was excited to fill in. It was a lot of fun.
Do you want to tell us about the game you've created for us tonight?
So I set it up. It's 10 questions, and every question has a different category.
Okay.
So we'll just go category by category, and we'll see how everybody does.
All right.
All right. I'm excited.
So I'm a little disappointed. Nothing against you, Travis, but I led off with the lore category specifically to trigger Jake, but now he's not here. So
maybe I will get triggered in his stead. You know, we'll see.
Jake, you're not even here, and they're all trying to trigger you, bro. What the hell?
He got you back, Jank. That's what happened. You were trying to
right? Yeah. See, like he's playing like 4D chess with me here.
Yeah, exactly.
Apologies for my voice. I'm a little hoarse today, so
you're good, man. A little horse is called a pony. I'm checking names. I'm making sure that everybody has either tricked me or has an appropriate name. Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Do we know that all the colors of the things are going to show up appropriately?
I never know that. I literally never know that.
My biggest concern is that I missed something in the formatting here, and the whole thing's going to be wonky, but we'll see.
We've worked with it before.
We're going to find out, you know? It's already going to be a wonky stream because I'm here instead of Jake, so we just get to continue on with the wonkiness if that happens.
The subtitle of our channel could be "Continue on with the wonkiness."
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, technical difficulties are pretty much a rite of passage on any of these streams.
Welcome to the stream. Let us get through our 20 minutes of tech difficulties, and we will begin the content.
Steve in the chat. That's cool. Hey, Steve. Good to see you.
Steve, what's up?
Loyal Jake and Joel are Magic viewer and supporter.
All right, chat. 30 more seconds, and we're going to start this trivia. Jank, you going to walk us through this tonight?
Yep.
I see your visual here. I've got that ready to open up. Blink. Beautiful. I'll drag that over. All right, chat. If you want to play, I think we've given you the opportunity. We are starting the trivia game. Who is that? All right.
I love that picture. All right. So, like I said, first question is a lore question. A little bit for some of the old heads. Which of the following items is not a part of the legacy put together by Urza to defeat Phyrexia?
Woohoo! Lore question here.
Indeed.
Chat, just an FYI, the speed with which you answer, once it gives the answer, does matter on this. I'm just letting you know.
So
Take
you
your
want me to
time.
read the answers out before you bring them up, or do you wait till you bring them up?
Just when I bring them up, you can read them out.
Okay,
and
perfect.
We'll start answering. Let's go.
So which of these is not part of the legacy? Is it A, the Weatherlight, B, Touchstone, C, Heartstone, or D, Skyshaper?
It will adjust the letters, y'all, from what Jane gave. It kind of randomizes. So,
okay. Sorry.
No worries.
They were the same for me.
Oh, cool.
So maybe I don't. Maybe I randomly got lucky, but this is a tough one for me because this is.
It's tough for me too. I do not know the answer to this.
Lore. I just YOLO guessed something. I should have realized that.
Heartstone, huh?
Yep, it is Heartstone.
Looks like Troy
Heartstone
Boy
is in that same block of sets, but it is not part of the legacy.
We got him.
3 people got it right.
We got him, boys. We found the old heads. There they are. Get them. Or just the lore people.
All right. So this category is going to be cards. It's going to be about a specific card. What does it do? How does it work?
Okay.
So the cards Lab Rats from Tempest, another oldie but a goodie, showcases what MTG mechanic?
Lab Rats from Tempest.
Yep. Is it Madness, Buyback, Flashback, or Rebound?
I'm guessing this based off where what mechanic I think was in Tempest. I do not know this card.
That isn't a bad approach to this question.
Yeah, because there's one of these mechanics here that is pretty clearly older than the other if you just know the history of MTG.
Yeah, if you know the order in which a lot of these mechanics came out, it will definitely help you with this question, even if you have no idea what the card does. And it is Buyback. Yeah, none of these other 3 existed at the time, actually.
Have you seen Buyback on a card, Travis?
Yes.
Nice. Capsize with Buyback is a classic troll commander spell.
All right, we had a bunch of people get some points on that one. I almost made Capsize the card, but I thought it would be too easy.
Yeah, people know Capsize.
All right, so this is our rules question. If 2 players each control a legendary permanent that share the same name, what happens?
All right, this is interesting, y'all, because this has been a different answer across the history of Magic the Gathering. So I'm assuming, Jake, we want what would happen right now.
Correct, yes. What happens with the current rules?
All right, here we go. It's a funny question.
So if you have 2 legends, does the oldest copy of the permanent get sacrificed? The newest copy of the permanent gets sacrificed? Both are sacrificed, or nothing happens?
This is the first one where I was very confident in my answer.
Yeah, I was going to say this one's interesting. The answers are presented in a way where I'm kind of waiting until we're fully past the full 3/4 of the time on the question. I feel like a newer player would look at this and go, I mean, there's an obvious one here, right? The other 3 don't make sense.
No, I've heard what it was in the past.
Yeah.
And so I know that this didn't always used to be this.
Yeah, it has. I believe at some point it has been any one of these 4.
Clone used to be a legitimate commander removal because you could clone your opponent's commander and they both die.
Was it that recent that it was that rule?
College,
yeah,
for me,
like I said, the rule has changed so many times to try to balance it without.
The most recent was if there's 2 on the battlefield, only 1 can be, and then now it's everybody can have the same legend. It doesn't matter.
Right, as long as different people own it, that's really the sticking point now.
Jake's in the chat. I assume that's him.
Everybody wave at
better,
Jake.
I'm sorry.
Make sure you have a mask on to talk to him or get near him. Jake did test positive for the COVID.
Oh no, Jake, sorry to hear, fam. Hope you feel better.
Jake, I'm sorry, I miss you. I'm sad we won't be able to play Magic this week.
All right, Jake, for you, we got a history question. Magic the Gathering first started printing foil cards into packs with which standard set?
If you watch Jake and Joel
Which
Magic,
set
you know
was
the answer to this
first
question.
appearance of foil cards? We have Urza's Saga, Urza's Legacy, Urza's Destiny, or Urza's Betrayal.
I remember this back in the day, playing Urza's block.
Oh yeah, see, at least you, like, I know Jake and Joel both kind of started way after I did. It sounds like you are a little bit closer to my starting point.
I started 2 years ago.
He's being sarcastic. He started.
Okay, sorry.
Lord of the Ring. No, Battle for Baldur's Gate was his first set.
All right, you got me.
Oh,
It was Urza's Legacy, the middle set.
That's why I got it right.
Block.
It was
Can
Legacy.
you imagine if they had started with Urza's Saga and we got like foil cradles and Tolarian academies and all that?
It was Legacy.
Media
Oh,
is our
nice.
next category.
Cute.
The first MTG content creator to hit 1 million subs was who?
This is embarrassing that you guys have a question about me on whenever
Travis
I'm on.
Gafford MTG is not anywhere
Is
on
it?
these answers.
Tolarian Community College, Ristic Studies, Jake and Joel are Magic, or the
Yeah.
Command Zone.
80,000 going on 1 million.
Dang, Joe, you just gave it away. I wanted everybody to go back and look and see how many
Oh,
subs you
man. Oh, shucks.
I mean, people could get you a little closer right now just by hitting.
Exactly. If you want to push Jake and Joel to be the next 1 million subs, go over there and hit that subscribe button.
On this
It
list,
was the prof.
you've
at
got the
Tolarian
best
Community
channel,
College.
you've got everyone's favorite channel, and you've got every creator's favorite creator. Nice.
Still top 5. That's good.
Got him.
All right, so this one has Joel. This is the one that's got the picture to go along with it. Who provided the art for the original copy of Sulphurous Springs? He has a very distinctive style, so if you see it and you know him, you will immediately grab him.
There's an amazing story I have for this that I need to tell right afterwards. It's so funny to see this right now.
Visual clue, chat. Who is the artist of this piece of art? I'm going to try and... It's not going to let... Okay, we're just going to go...
I'll give a little hint. He's going to be at MTG Vegas, and I am super hyped. Is it Steve Prescott, Phil Foglio, Kev Walker, or Ron Spencer?
Here's the art. You are answering on your phones. Your answers are on your phones.
Jake in the chat just hard spoiling.
Kingdoms. We're covering Summit at the ad break if you're still around.
Dude, what's funny about this is that this, like 2 or 3 weeks ago at Command Fest LA, he was there and my friend got a signature of this done of this card, asked him to draw something on it, and he drew a like topless demon girl.
Nice.
So just like draw whatever you want, and he added a topless
He
demon
was
girl
just
to the
like
hot tub.
boobies, dude. That's what
That's
I'm
awesome.
going for.
I might ask him for the same thing. But yeah, it's Phil
It
Foglio.
looked legit too. It was actually really impressive. But it
Dude,
was just
Phil
like,
is
he's like,
easily
"Draw
top
whatever."
5 of my favorite artists.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm still ahead of Joel. That's all I need.
Troy
got it
Boy
going.
wrecking it up there.
Yeah, Troy Boy's starting to run away. Exact change, man. Trying to keep it up.
All right, our next category is MTG Culture.
Nice,
If a
dude.
card is referred to as jank by an MTG player, they are saying it is what?
Nice.
I may have taken a couple of liberties with these.
Hey, I like it, man.
All right, it is either overpowered, played in a lot of decks, worth less than $1, or it's just not very good.
You know, I think it's impressive that I'm keeping up with Joel because he has host advantage, you know?
Host advantage, streamer advantage. I'm using a lot of my advantages.
We
I've got all of Jake's
there's
energy.
a latency issue when it gets to all of us. I'm sure it pops for you first.
Actually my phone does come up behind as of the show. It's kind of weird.
So, yep, a jank card is not very good.
Not very good cards referred to as jank. Ooh, keeping pace.
Oh,
Exact-
somebody lost their top
ahead of
spot.
you.
Yeah, Exact Change Man said,
Yep,
I will
dethroned.
be taking the head of the lane.
All right, next category is current events. Which of the following cards was recently banned in the Legacy format?
And in Legacy.
Who actually pays attention to the ban restricted list? Is it Nadu, Winged Wisdom, Urza's Saga, Grief, or Vexing Bauble? I'll give you guys all a little hint. Every single one of these cards was on the most recent ban restriction announcement.
Yeah,
but only one of them was banned in Legacy.
There's a little trickery to this question too, huh?
There's a lot of trickery.
Yeah.
Because some of them were not banned, but were restricted.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to
I
remember
think
which
I
of the
got it
two.
wrong.
Oh, yes.
Damn it!
So, yeah, Urza's Saga and Vexing Bauble were restricted in Vintage.
Damn.
Nadu was banned in Pioneer and Modern, and then Grief was only banned in, or not Pioneer. Nadu was banned in Modern. Grief was banned in Vintage.
Good question,
Legacy,
dude.
sorry.
Very good question. Trav taking over the top spot.
Oh, look at that.
Jumping out to the lead. Only 2 questions remain.
All right. This is our Universes Beyond question. Which of the following Universes Beyond franchises did not include any booster products?
And just to be clear, does this include it appeared in a booster product that would disqualify it from this question potentially?
No. So basically, when this Universes Beyond product first came out,
it itself didn't have boosters.
Which one didn't have booster products associated with it?
Gotcha. Here we go. No boosters.
Was it Warhammer 40K, Lord of the Rings, Assassin's Creed, or Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I feel like this one might be a layup.
I know. It's so good.
If you're able to win
That's all right.
trivia on the stream you're on, you get the channel.
I got a special one for the final question.
Oh no.
If you defeat me, you take over control of the polycule and you get the channel.
Oh, hell yeah.
There you go, Trav.
Oh, we're bringing back some interesting jokes.
It was Warhammer 40K.
There
It
were
only
no
had
boosters. Yep.
Yep. And all pre-con decks.
All right. Oh, Gafford in the lead.
All right. We got our final potluck question.
If I get screwed on the last question, I would be so
Oh,
tempted.
bro.
We have
I
got
hope you are up on your Fibblethip knowledge.
Here we go.
Potluck. Which of Ravnica's 10 guilds did Fibblethip work for as a tender of the gardens? You know I had to get a question about my boy in here somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Did he work for A, the Azorius, B, the Dimir, C, the Selesnya, or D, is it?
I'm just trying to think about
where would Fibblethip hang out? I agree, Food Time. Great question. Jank, you killed it with the trivia tonight, bud.
Thanks, man. It was a lot of fun putting it together. Coming up with all the categories was actually part of the fun in and of itself.
I like that approach.
Yeah, this is really good.
Me and Spec have been really focused on making them very
No!
It was Azorius. I put Selesnya in, even though it didn't have blue in it, just because I thought a lot of people would associate them with gardens.
Yeah, man, it's a good
That's
question.
What I felt for that because I was just guessing.
Brad!
Ulo come out of nowhere at the end with 666 points.
One of the newest patrons to join. Brad, what's up, dude? Way to take it down.
Okay.
Brad won because he knows about Fibblethip, and that makes him a true champion.
I just want to be clear. I got second, and I was
Travis. That was very impressive for your first round.
less than 10.9 points away.
Crushed it. Everybody crushed it tonight.
The top. Yeah, man. Everybody. I mean, the top 4 were all within almost 25 points of each other. So good job, everybody.
Good job to you, everybody. Can we get a round of applause in chat for Jank making the trivia tonight? Jank, mucho apreciado, dude.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks, brother. Have a good night,
I'll start
everybody.
working on the next one.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Claps in chat. Thanks to Jank. Congratulations to Brad. Way to take it down. Jank is keeping stats of all of our winners and losers, and so we will eventually have a nice little trivia leaderboard going over in the Discord. Jank, we need to get something that's like we probably should work with Spec to get something that's like an easy visualizer that makes itself off of a chart, and we can keep that in chat or keep that in Discord. That'll be fun.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'm sure Spec has all the knowledge in that department.
Oh yeah, he'll be able to help us figure it out. Everybody say bye to Jank. Jank, thank you very much, buddy.
Everybody. Love you guys. See you in the chat.
Yep.
Everybody go sub to Jank's channel. He opens packs Kraken Jank. Jake, actually in chat, can you drop his link if possible? You might just be on mobile.
We have a monarch.
All hail Crowns in chat. Crowns in chat. All hail Headhunter Racing. All hail Stream Monarch. Headhunter said I didn't finish last, and that is always a good thing. Always a good thing. Headhunter, thank you very much for that.
I did better than Joel on his own channel, so I feel like that is enough for me.
It's enough for me. Honestly, it's going to help me sleep worse at night. Which, you know, Duskmourn, sleeping worse at night. Now we're back on theme.
Yeah, you have 2 kids, and there's a scary thing coming up, but the thing that will make you sleep the least is me outperforming you on your own channel.
I am way scareder of my kids than I am in anything in Duskmourn.
True.
You sitting there, you hear that cry when you're not supposed to hear a cry, and you're like, son of a bitch. I love them. I love them. Chat.
Jake says, I'm laying in bed. I feel like a bag of used butts.
Someone get that man a man a bag of mint butts. He needs a bag of mint butts ASAP.
You know, maybe we should get into the main topic for the night, Joel.
Is it LP or MP butts that you're after? Who used these butts? Chat. Duskmourn is the topic for tonight. See, Travis isn't used to it around here. He's figuring it out.
This is where my improv, this is where you and Jake would go for 5 minutes on this joke, and I fall apart at it, you know?
That is our style. Yeah. Find something that's very mediocrely funny and drive it into the ground.
Yeah.
With weird voices.
You got any opinions on gourds?
Oh, I could go for hours on gourds, but we better not do that. We better save that for Jake and Joel or Gordon, because we have Duskmourn to talk about. Trav tonight brought the segment. Not only filled in for Jacobine, Chucklebean, but brought the segment. So Trav, you want to go ahead and set this one up for us?
Yeah, so a little bit of context on this. One, I've noticed, as many of you probably have, that Duskmourn is a very enchanting set in terms of the amount of enchantments it has, though perhaps not as enchanting from a thematic perspective as Wilds of Eldraine. And I have also been playing a ton of Standard recently. I just got into playing Standard for the first time. I've gotten really, for those that don't know me, I've gotten really into Magic in the last 2 years, and have become friends with Jake and Joel. I guess we never did an intro at the beginning of this because I've been on their channel before, but I do a bunch of Magic stuff with friends and play it. I'm a content creator in the League of Legends space mostly, but do a bunch of Magic stuff these days. And so getting into Standard, been looking back at a lot of the previous Standard sets, seeing a bunch of cards pop off with rotation and with Bloomburrow hitting at the same time. And so it got me thinking, okay, well, what could pop up in Duskmourn? And because of the fact that Wilds of Eldraine had so much enchanting stuff in it, I figured, hey, that's like a pretty interesting space to be looking at in terms of cards that care about enchantments, both for Commander and for Standard. And it's also been a year, and I know that Jake and Joel love to look at cards and sets after about a year has gone through. I think you guys just did this recently with Commander Masters?
Masters, yeah. We just had our 1 year look back at Commander Masters. Got a lot of interesting insights from that set, where some of the prices are now. And I love this angle of looking at Duskmourn so far, because look at cards like this. You see a card like Disturbing Mirth played. 1 red, 1 black enchantment. Enters, you may sacrifice another enchantment. Okay, so we've already got enchantment sacrifice going. That's not a very common, theme or synergy of cards. Sacrifice another enchantment or creature, and if you do, draw 2 cards. And then when you sacrifice Disturbing Mirth, you manifest Dread, which is our new take manifest. First you take manifest, then you take Dread, and then you staple them together. And you've got a 2/2, a Surveil 2/2 type ability going. So you have to think, okay, we've got a sacrifice Disturbing Mirth. Yeah, you could sacrifice Disturbing Mirth to Disturbing Mirth, but you think there's got to be some synergies that they're looking for a potential deck with.
Yeah. And you know what also asks you to sacrifice enchantments? The bargain mechanic, which we saw in this set. And not only was it a situation where obviously there are cards that, you know, have bargain on them, but also cards, because bargaining enchantments was a thing, there are cards in this set that ask you to, or reward you for sacrificing enchantments as well, or for enchantments hitting the graveyard, that type of stuff. So I think there are going to be some interesting cards here that could pop up a little bit in standard or in commander, probably. I mean, maybe in some of these other formats, but those are the places where I think stuff could go. So yeah, Beseech the Mirror, which we just pulled up.
Yeah, this one, Beseech, is, I just said this in a video, it's so wild how, you know, typically it takes a year for me to seem really smart and like I've made a good call. It's a week later, and what I basically said about Beseech the Mirror's potential in standard is right here. I mean, I don't know if this is going to be the solution, but something like it is what needed to be printed, and we've got it right here. So it's on their radar too. Because I was saying Beseech the Mirror now, starting up around 40s, 30s, getting down around $15 now. Now you got a $60 play set here. Don't even probably need a play set of these, but that's beside the point. Sacking that enchantment, we just needed something that was either going to create a token or be a synergistic artifact or enchantment. You think black, you're less on enchantment being where the synergy is going to be, but sure enough, we see a card like Disturbing Mirth. We see any of our black enchantments here. I mean, look, we got a one mana creature enchantment here that's going to help us with Disturbing Mirth, because we can sacrifice another enchantment or creature, draw 2 cards. That thing, when it dies, 1 damage to any target and you gain a life. And then on top of all of it, to your point, our bargain stuff, sacrifice either of them. Hey, now we're going to go get a 4. We're going to go get our shielded right onto the battlefield, basically.
Well, and also, I mean, Golgari in particular in standard is very strong right now, because there's a like 1-turn kill with Innkeeper's Talent and Vraska Betrayal Sting. Right. And so I think having, you know, ways for you to be able to get access to Innkeeper's Talent, for instance, or other good cards in that, I could see that being kind of a big thing for this. A
6-mana dragon with flying and haste that, when you bargain it, refunds 4 of your mana. I mean, combined with, I don't know, this art is insane. This card is so weird and cool to me. I love when you see a mechanic or a permanent type getting synergistic exploration, if you will, in a color that it typically doesn't pop up in, this being enchantments and the color black, a little bit of the color red too, quite honestly. And so, you know, is there a Hellkite? We already know that Torch the Tower is good, and typically people aren't even playing this with a ton of bargain synergy. It just is like, there's upside if I do happen to have my token or artifact, then I need to kill it, you know?
Yeah, this is in a couple sideboards, maybe 1 or 2 main decks too, here and there. So like, I could definitely see Torch getting stronger with something like the card we were just looking at from Duskmourn. So yeah, I think there's just, Disturbing Mirth. There's definitely some interesting things here. I feel like people should be looking back at the cards in WoE and saying to themselves, okay, what are the enchantment cards that could see synergy with what we're seeing from Duskmourn? Because both of them are going to be heavy on enchantments, and I think we could see some interesting stuff come into a lot of different formats. Like Hopeless Nightmare is a great example of that, right? Exactly,
yeah. Food had it first in chat. Hopeless Nightmare from WoE seems like the one drop you want for this deck. Absolutely. This card's insane. Discard a card and lose 2 life on 1 mana, and then you get to scry when it does get put into a graveyard. This is exactly the card you want in this deck. You're running Hopeless Nightmares, you're running the Tutor, you're running your Disturbing Mirth, or potentially any of your other like this one. Have you seen this one? Nowhere to Run. It's a -3/-3 enchantment. So it's a removal enchantment, and then creatures your opponents control can be the targets of spells and abilities as though they didn't have hexproof. Let's pivot to Commander for just a second. I have seen a little bit of argument over, oh my god, this goes in everything, because of that second half of the card. And then I've also seen this is not a good enough effect to run on removal that's going to miss 2/3 of the creatures on the board. Where do you think about Nowhere to Run? Do you often need to kill a 3-butt?
Yeah, I mean, I think both in Commander, there are a lot of ways, a lot of things that just like give, you know, sudden hexproof or something, and having something like this is a great way to deal with those types of decks that try to like suddenly protect all their stuff. I don't know, I assume it's also saying some play in Commander, but you can look up Innkeeper's Talent, which we were just talking about, which is one of the strongest cards to come out of Bloomburrow. And it just gives permanents you control with counters on them Ward 1, which just becomes kind of annoying because so many different things can have counters on them. And you know, sometimes you're just one off on that. So having a card like that to be able to counter the counter, I think is going to be pretty strong. And I'm excited to see how it plays. I mean, maybe it won't end up hitting, but I feel like it's the type of thing where it's bringing in some new tech that we haven't really seen as much of in Magic in recent years. It's
basically the anti-heroic intervention, right? Because I go to kill your thing, you respond with heroic intervention, I respond with nowhere to run. Flavor name, love that, by the way. Just realized,
yeah.
Oh, bitch, you got nowhere to run. Like that a lot.
And this is another example of like a bargain target, right? Where this sits on the board after you've used it for removal, and maybe you're not worried, like you're playing against people that are not going to be using these types of hexproof stuff.
Right.
And then it's just something that you can use to bargain to get an additional effect on one of your other cards that you have.
Yeah, exactly. We obviously can't talk Enchantments and Duskmourn without talking about the first time we've seen this in Standard since Return to Ravnica, which oh no, nope, that's the Commander set. Yeah, this is what I thought. Return to Ravnica was the last time this card was in Standard. Boggles, anybody? I was telling here, let me show you. Oh, it's Boggles is not going to do me any good at all. I can't look up decks here. But Boggle, there you go.
Yeah.
This is the namesake of the deck, Boggles, old modern deck. You play a slippery Boggle, and then you suit it up with all of the best auras, make it a unblockable threat that can't be targeted down. Really forced players to sideboard sacrifice tech in. Ethereal Armor is sort of along those lines. Are we going to be able to make one big attacker? Obviously, enchantments are going to be a theme.
I feel like that this is just another example, all right, of just the ability for things to really pop off in Standard, but also, I mean, obviously, Ethereal Armor has been around for a while, but I would just be looking at what cards are in your collection and kind of wondering about that. The other thing that's kind of fun about this set is I think a lot of people have that deck that has a lot of enchantments in it. You have a Selesnya enchantments deck, right, Joel? Do you still use that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Elevair's right here. Auras, all auras. Everything's an aura.
And so that's, for me, it's always really fun whenever you see a set come out that's like, oh, this has a ton of artifacts in it, or this has a ton of enchantments. Because then I get to look at all these previews, and I know we're going to look at some previews here in a second for the set, and just go like, okay, which of these are going to be fun for me in the deck that I have already, you know?
Wow, this is insane! To be alongside Ethereal Armor in Standard? Holy moly. Not only is it like, obviously there's always going to be the 1-mana save your creature spells. That's become like a almost standard in every color except for red and blue, right? Like white and black and, well, green. Yeah, I guess it's a white and black thing. Let's not exaggerate. White and black has got green's got the hexproof at instant speed. That's what it is. So you've got one that counts towards your synergies with enchantments and can flash in and save your thing from being targeted, removaled. So you're safe to feel comfortable putting Ethereal Armor on a thing. As long as you got one white back, you're ready to go. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, shore up. Blue can do 1-mana hexproof. Just red.
Yep.
Red can't stop shit.
I think that, and I'm not trying to come on your channel and promote Standard a ton, but I do think it is.
Lots of people are talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing it, and I feel like they're adding in a lot of interesting strategies with all of these different sets, and so I'm just excited to kind of go through all this enchantment stuff and figure out like what the synergies are. I mean, Joel, I know that you all sometimes do this. I don't know if we want to look at any of the cards that are in WoE that might be decent pickups right now. Cards that have been doing well.
Absolutely. We can
like,
take it over to MTG Stocks.
Yeah. Who's I think a sponsor of the channel, yes?
Absolutely. That's why we use them. Yeah. Well, when we were using them long before that. I do want to touch on Valgavas Lair real fast though, because Enchantment Land, just to the same point, is the very first time I believe, don't misspeak about that weird Enchantment Land from Alpha that I'm not sure of. Oh, okay, it's enchantments that flip into lands. Urza's Saga. It's our second enchantment land ever. There you go.
I think
second enchantment land.
The thing that I love about these is, and it depends on what kind of Magic player you are, because there are some Magic players that are like, okay, do you want to take this back or whatever? But if you're in a more sweaty environment or you're playing whatever, and I get 1v1 in some serious way, I love lands that have artifact on them, or enchantment in this case, because it causes a lot of people to like misread a situation. Not to bring up bargain for the 500th time, but like,
that's what we're talking
somebody
about.
might think, oh, this person can't bargain something.
Right.
Well, guess what? I could bargain this land after I've tapped it for a color, and now I've got the bonus or whatever. So this is like a very interesting land to me.
100%.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, it obviously enters tapped, which is not something that a lot of people like, but I think the enchantment part of it is fairly interesting.
I enter every day tapped, and so I am okay to forgive a land for doing that. I really love your point, Trav. This being a sacrifice target for your bargain stuff is 100% something nobody's thought of very much yet, because that is a very cool application for this in standard. Yeah, let's look at bargain first. Let's see if there's any bargain cards here. Let's just sort.
Yeah, I think most of them are going to probably be in the uncommon and common, but I do wonder. Yeah, we have Beseech, we have Realm, Scorcher.
So those two we had found. Farsight Ritual, 4 mana bargainer. Look at the top 4. Okay, so this is just that spell, but you can bargain and look at the top 8. You're still just putting 2. That's womp. This one, if we can, it doesn't feel like this is the card. This is the kind of payoff that the deck wants. The deck, right, I feel like is pulling us in a direction right now that's sort of like a little control-y, a little mid-rangey, not rampy,
kind of like
beats.
Getting value out of stuff, just out-valuing people.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I like that Realm, the Hell Scorcher, because, or the Realm Scorcher Hellkite, because the fact that you get to play that and then immediately get 4 more mana to maybe cast something else.
Yeah.
You know what is 4 mana? Is Geological Appraiser. So you just you play this thing, you bargain something, you get some, you bargain the Rakdos card that we were talking about at the beginning of this, that like Manifest Dreads, and then you use the 4 mana you get to cast a Geological Appraiser, which then lets you discover 3, and you're just like pew pew pew. Here's all of my. I've now built this massive board all at once. It's kind of funny.
I love that. As we were talking, this card showed up, and I actually think this is going to be a sleeper potential in this deck, because returning those fears that are like 1 and 2 mana, like Fear of Lost Teeth seems like a really good 1-drop common for this deck out of the gate anyway, and potentially being able to return these. If it's a 4 or less right onto the battlefield, it's already synergizing with our Beseech the Mirror. This.
I think that's really cool for Commander after like a board wipe has occurred or something, and you're kind of like huffing fumes, and then you hit that land that you have that people didn't expect you to be able to bargain, or something along those lines, and you start to get back on the board pretty quick. Yeah,
especially if something can come straight on. Mid removal, mid combat trick. I'm talking constructed lane.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, okay, so Candy Grapple. Candy Grapple's an instant speed bargain that I mean, 2 mana, Dismember, -5/-5 is Dismember. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that land is going to do a lot for you because it's going to give you so much enchantment synergy. Like so many of these cards that whenever... Well, actually, will it trigger all of the... whenever you cast... I guess, is it when an enchantment comes into play...
What are you asking?
Draw a card.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about... Okay, so let's go and look at... So that's the bargain cards. Obviously Beseech, Realm Scorcher, those are our 2 obvious, but like uncommons, you know, grab your foils of Back for Seconds maybe. Looking at enchantment in the Oracle text of a card, and yeah, Jake said Fear of Lost Teeth is a card. Yeah, dude, check this one out. Check out the art on that.
Yeah. I don't want to check out the art on it, but I appreciate the offer.
Sheesh.
I was literally at the dentist 4 hours ago getting fillings, and now you're showing this to me.
Was this your dentist? I think his name was Prentice.
No, she's a very nice lady who was very patient with me.
Nice. You do kick and scream a lot when you're getting your hair cut.
It's true. And you've seen it before.
Yeah, I know. I have pictures. See, I backslide into me and Jake just almost instantaneously, right? Looking at cards that have enchantment in the Oracle text here. Some of these are going to be like, yeah, this is the one. If you're gonna look at the green side of things, that says with that Valgavoth's Lair, it does say landfall draw card, which is once a turn, which is pretty sweet. I don't think this is it though, bro. I mean, you got to get the artifacts on there. Maybe if you got some kind of
that's fair.
Green. That's fair. But eventually, right, we've got the enchantment land from this set. We'll get the foundation set next. That helps our green case, we know, because Llanowar Elf is going to be in there. So that pretty much automatically powers up green in the format just by existing. And so who knows what sort of like artifact enchantment single permanent that's both types come out in the next year.
I mean, even just having this on the board and then playing the land and then getting a card and then playing some more enchantments, like there's just going to be so many enchantments in standard, for instance, from WoE and from Duskmourn being in that, like I think there could end up being some sort of, as we were just talking about, like a value deck where you're just playing all these enchantments but you're getting bonuses from them, and by the way, one of the enchantments you're playing is a land that you want to play anyway. Like it's interesting because like Elvish Archivist is a 2-cost. You play it on 2, and then you play a tapped land, which is the enchantment land, on 3. What is it? I keep calling it the enchantment land. Valgavoth's Lair.
One more time.
Remember that.
One more time.
Valgavoth's Lair.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I think that's Jake's nickname for his bedroom. If I recall correctly.
This is actually a picture of Jake's girlfriend from high school. We don't talk about her.
Oh wow. Okay.
Elvish Archivist.
So close,
yeah. If green can take, I mean, this is kind of interesting. It's also slow as hell, but I mean, copying an enchantment, that's sweet. Making a token copy of an enchantment for 2 mana.
Wait, could you copy the land? Could you ramp with it?
It says copy target enchantment that doesn't have the same name as another permanent. It does not say choose a non-land enchantment, because that would be very strange.
Well, wait, so that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. So you couldn't copy. You could copy. Oh, it's another. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
You can copy the legendary land. It becomes a token non-legendary copy of it. You can't do it again, because then we would have 2 permanents named Valgavoth's Lair.
Yeah. Wow, you play a 4-cost, so that you pay 2 and tap it, and you ramp 1 land.
That enters the battlefield tapped. Yeah,
Joel. How are we not?
Pew pew.
How Magic are we not on the Pro Tour? We're coming up with.
Look, for 6 mana, you can get a copy of your tapped land. It taps for any color and has hexproof. What else do you need?
People are gonna really want Jake back after this episode.
We're just making good combos for standard decks around here.
That's true.
We're exploring. This is a valuable and necessary part of the deck building process, everyone. Is making sure that You explore synergies. Destroy target enchantment, not non-land enchantment. Oh, Valgavoth Slayer isn't legendary? I assumed that Valgavoth would have a legendary house. I guess he's like, it's mostly just a tunnel. Sorry, y'all.
No,
I wouldn't
run 4 of these things and like keep getting landfall triggers and enchantment triggers. And
wouldn't say it's a legendary house, but we're gonna have a fun time at the party. You know?
I was just thinking that same thing, Joel. I'm glad that you said it.
There's no slide. There's no slide anywhere. There's a zip line. There's no slide.
I hope this is something I could visit at MagicCon in Vegas this October.
Valgavoth Slayer? Yeah, I think all you have to do is walk around on Fremont for a little while, and she'll walk up to you, man.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is a side thing that,
or he really, whatever your flavor preference is.
Yeah.
Break the spell is what we need to do from that last moment. Destroying an enchantment land for 1 mana feels pretty intense. I like it. Yeah, I think I'm looking at Beseech the Mirror, dude. A lot of times when you're looking at synergies like this, or you're looking at a deck potentially existing in standard like this, it's really only one deck, and it's really only a few of the cards, like maybe one. So what is the target for Beseech the Mirror becomes the next question, because I feel like there's already a sort of rough draft here. We know what the 1-drops are. We know what the good 1 and 2 drops are in standard anyway. We know what the 3-drop maybe is. Not the return spell, but the what's the thing that sacrifices the 2-mana enchantment? Boom. Disturbing Mirth is looking at our 2-drop around here. It really becomes, what do we go get with the Beseech? I mean, it's pretty like obvious to go get Shieldred for a while, until she's not.
Oh yeah, this card
standard any longer. I don't know if you've heard of Old Girl here, but
yeah, she seems pretty good.
We'll see.
We have her for another year, by the way.
We'll see. Oh, you're talking about this nearly $80 mythic from a standard set? Yeah.
I won a draft on Arena with it earlier.
I'm not shocked. You got this in draft. If you lost, we needed to talk.
Yeah.
Or you just got removed there. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's the target. Spell was bargain. You can search your library for a card. So any 4-mana card. Any 4-mana card. That's cool that it's gotta be in a black deck, obviously, but
how is this? I know we were gonna look at MTG stocks. How's this card gone over time? Because I remember when I was first playing WoW, this was like the card to get, I think. Outside of the obviously the bonus sheet, Enchanting Tales.
We just covered this card last week in a video in Great Pickups. Because
I don't want your content, so I don't know.
Me either. It's gotten to the point where, as you can see. Yeah. Just a slow fall. But this is what happens to these standard mythics that are hyped but don't find a home. Because I just think right now it didn't have the foundation for the deck to exist, and its best target was Shieldred, and there were better decks running Shieldred that didn't need to go get her because she's such a hot target. Everybody's running, deal 5 damage just because she exists, and it's gonna get aced. You can run 4. That means you're gonna draw it. Why Beseech, right?
I know we're gonna talk about it in a little bit, but I forget. Have we seen the face cards for the precons yet?
Yes, we have. Yep. Yeah.
Are any of them commanders with black in them that care about enchantments?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's the other thing that happens is you just see stuff pop so hard.
So winter, right? Yeah, winter's delirium. So you would want a nice threshold of each permanent type in here, probably. And then just like a nice mix of enchant. You want to mix your resources across all things with the delirium. So potentially,
and Amanatsu cares about making enchantments deeper.
Right. Big enchantments. Amanatsu's a big enchantments. human wizard creature now. Desparked.
So sad.
No longer a planeswalker. Doesn't have the despark symbol on there. Huh, interesting. Oh, I bet she's got a card in the main set. Is she? No. Oh wow, interesting. Just there. Boom. But yeah.
Well, we haven't seen everything, right? So
yeah, no, we're well into previews, not through them though. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how much it can fall, because it's obvious that it's good, but oof.
Yeah. But then it just doesn't find a spot. So yeah, that feels like a pretty good card. Yeah. What are the top rares and mythics in this set?
The whole set.
Because I wonder if any of these are cards that we could pop if we care about. Yeah, I guess the Soul Cauldron's not really doing much with it, right?
So that's creatures. Beseech we've looked at. Moonshaker's a go wide card. Virtue. I mean, Virtue is definitely in the deck. This is in every black
Virtue,
deck right now.
I'm already running Virtue in a standard deck, but this could see more play, I guess, if this set has ways to bring enchantments back, which I don't know if we've seen any cards so far that, but like if you can...
I think we did see one that... Isn't it a 1-drop? Oh, no, this is what I was thinking of. This is reanimate a creature card off a... That's what I was thinking of, I think. Chat, have y'all seen one? For some reason in my brain, there's a permanent in this set that you can sacrifice. I might have dreamed this. That you can sacrifice to return an enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah. I mean, again, we haven't seen everything yet, so if something ends up popping off that way.
The thing is, though, Travis, this isn't really an enchantment that you want to cheat onto the battlefield fast as hell. I mean,
you say that, my
obviously
friend,
it can be good.
I've won multiple standard events by doing that exact same thing with
by cheating this on super fast. Yeah,
because if you're running stuff that each, like Liliana, right, you're able to discard, you play it, you make both people discard creatures. Carnosaur, you can discard that. There are probably enchantment creatures that you can bargain with this. Like I think that it's not getting this on the battlefield on turn 4, for instance. You start to be able to do stuff. By the way, you can reanimate from their graveyard with this card. So like if you kill something of theirs, you can start bringing their stuff back. Like getting it in early, it just becomes really hard for them to deal with if they don't have enchantment removal, because it's just going to sit there.
It's an interesting assessment. I like that endorsement of this card, man. Because yeah, I look at this and I'm like, I mean, what are we returning? They're 1-drops.
I mean,
and
but look at the other side of it. It's removal, right? Like it's the other side of it is you're giving.
It's a great
something
card.
-2/-3. So like, I could definitely.
I'm not questioning the card at all. This card is Crusher. I'm just questioning. Is it an enchantment you want to sneak onto the battlefield in the first 3 turns? You want to try and put your resources into that? Is there going to be stuff to return? Can we mill them? Can we, like you said, discard? Can we control our own discard? I love the Carnosaur point. Obviously, that's in that Rakdos deck right now for that exact reason. So,
yeah,
potential. This one's a banger.
Yep.
But again, it doesn't right now. The one we've seen anyway. It doesn't exactly look like a creature-based deck to me. There are better decks to run Virtue of Loyalty, and I would feel like that's a Lands Matters. Same thing there. This card is an uncommon at $8, y'all. When it
you know why? Because this was only available in the Jumpstarts.
Only available in the this
was like the Jumpstart bonus card, so you could not get this in draft or it might have been available in set, but yeah, it's like it's one of those rare uncommons. It's similar to the rat from Jumpstart 2022 that is like worth $70 or something crazy.
Yeah, those Jumpstart sets always give us 1 or 2 of those. That's cool. I didn't know about this card. Whenever you sack a food, what is this? The commander deck? The food commander deck probably wants this. There's not a standard.
I mean,
deck
there's a ton of food stuff right now, right? So,
but I haven't seen a food standard deck. Interesting. $8 for that uncommon. Interesting.
Yeah. I think some people are doing stuff with that. And what's the card that Kibler spiked recently? The farmer.
Yeah. The 2 food farmer. Brumble, whatever.
Yeah, yes. Brumble.
I think it's Brumble.
Exactly.
I think it's Brumble.
That's why they call him Brian Brumble Kibler, actually. because he spiked that card so hard.
This one, now, you want to cheat one onto the battlefield early? This is what I'm talking about, dog.
Yeah.
Cheat this on turn 3. You got 9. You got 12 mana when you untap. Ugh.
The virtues definitely have well, I shouldn't say definitely. I think they have the potential for some pretty long legs over the next year or so, and
100%.
Duskmourn is one of those places where like you could definitely see these popping off.
Yeah, it's not it's time to look at the, we covered this in video last week, but it's time to look at the Wilds of Eldraine bonus sheet. I think that opportunity is going to pass you if you don't look at it in the next 2 months, if you want anything off of that bonus sheet for its lower prices. But with this in standard, I think we've probably got another 6 months to a year before any talk of this set like starting to become a little scarcer happens. And so I'm with you. I like the showcase frame of this. I want multiple copies of definitely the black one and the white one. Those have homes in lots of decks. But
I mean, what color is Amanatu again?
Esper.
White, black. Oh, Esper. Okay, yeah. So like, she's gonna make all these cheaper. I don't know if they're exciting to Miracle out in Commander, but it could be interesting.
I mean, they definitely are. She reduces them by 4 mana, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what we saw?
I think she only reduces them by 2, right? No, it is 4.
Each enchantment card in your hand has Miracle. Its Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4. So you can, what this reads as is the card you drew this turn. If it's an enchantment card, it's got to be the first one you drew for your turn too. Sure. If the first card you draw on your turn is an enchantment, it's going to be reduced by 4, but then that reduction goes away the next turn if you don't cast it. But I mean, dog, is it going to be exciting to cheat them out? Yeah. Can I get a 1 mana ETB Harmonicon? Yeah. Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah.
We can do something
the cool thing
with
about
that.
These virtues is the adventure side of them. They're always strong. You know, like all the adventures are pretty good. I think the white one is maybe the most boring, but like all of the
it just creates a creature to grow.
Yeah, the instants are which I shouldn't say instants, but like the adventures are pretty interesting in and of themselves. So
I like that. I like Food Times Point said experimental confectioner plus Yegra, eater of all. Everything is a food, and so there's probably some weird synergy there with sacrifice food, create a 1/1 black rat, because everything is food. So if you can figure out with those two on the battlefield, sacrifice one of your rats, that counts as food. It got sacrificed. You create a rat because of experimental confectioner. That's a loop. That's an infinite loop there. That's controllable. And so if you get any aristocrat's piece on the board with that, you win, right? Chat, am I thinking of that right? Yeah. Any death drain, anything, even if it's one person, because you can do this infinitely. Yeah, that's cool. I can see why that's an $8 uncommon.
I don't want us to sidetrack us too much, and we don't need to pull it up if you think we don't have time. But I was thinking about this whenever you said it's going to be about a year before Wilds of Eldraine starts to become scarce. The crazy thing, I don't know how much you all have covered this on the channel. Maybe you did last week and I missed it, but a lot of the cards from Dominaria United and Brothers War, and part of the reason I said I'm doing this draft tomorrow with those, they've started to skyrocket because like standard now is 3 years. And so when was the last time anybody was playing these? A long time ago. And so cut down, for instance, which is an uncommon, and obviously it's been seeing play for a long time, but it's becoming even more in demand now, and people just don't have these cards available, and so they've been starting to pop off. So like I don't think either of these sets, I mean obviously Brothers War was mostly about artifacts and stuff, but if either of them have enchantments that are interesting, like I don't know, temporary lockdown or something. I know temporary lockdown's already seeing some play. One of the
best board wipes in the format for a while there. Maybe still, I don't even know.
Yep. But these types of cards, I think, are. I would just go through and look and see if there were any enchantments. In
now that I'm thinking of it, and Jake, this is a good point. If you're still watching, I haven't thought of this before. Our 1 year laters were kind of nice looks, but honestly, like 2 years laters are gonna be relevant now because of the new rotation schedule being what it is. You will have to go back and look at this and be like, all right, which of these were potential seeds planted? And who knows if they're as far back as here, you know, they seeded an enchantment card that they intended to be 2 years later in the enchantment deck. Like, that's a lot, but maybe. Not saying it couldn't happen.
Yeah, and even if they're not seeding it, like, that means in some ways it's even more likely that something just randomly pops off because they weren't necessarily planning for it, you know, and so most people weren't. I mean, like, think about the fact that Cutdown is a standard set uncommon.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want to look it up at MTG stocks, but like, it is crazy to see what has happened to this card. Look at that. Look at that line.
Oops. There's a lot of creatures that are power toughness 5 or less still. Oops. Dominaria is still in standard.
I think this was the card that Kibler was talking about earlier this year that was really frustrating, or that he felt might have been like a design mistake.
It's strong. It eats a lot of stuff. It really does.
And this is from a standard set, right? Like, I know that if we look at MH3, there are cards that are...
Sure.
And it's from a standard set, by the way, in a set that at the time, whenever it was released, was considered a bit of a failure. Like, people were... Like, maybe even if they liked the draft format, they didn't feel like there was much... You know, people would say, oh, there's nothing in here but Shieldred. You know, Plaza went up and down a little bit, but like, it's just interesting that a lot of these cards are starting to really come back.
Yeah, chat. So there's your Travis tip of the day. If you didn't know, your cut downs have increased in price. If you opened up a lot of DMU, you got this one, and then if you went and played, I believe this was playing up at the LGS.
Yeah.
Similar price. Yeah, it's all about aesthetic. You choose. But if you got those sitting around, yeah, cut down, getting above extended leyline binding, kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think now is a good time to card conduit your cut downs, because like, the people will go back and find them, you know, in boxes, and people will figure out how to, like, people will go open boxes that they were sitting on. They will do these types of things, and so it'll come down. Or, you know, if you told me this was in Foundations, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it is or not, but like, this, if they are cool with this being something in Standard, a way to deal with like a 1-mana dork, for instance, you could definitely see something like that happening.
Yeah, if you got a lot of these, if you're sitting on a giant stack of cut downs for some reason, because you bought them at 50 cents or $1, you're specking them. I mean, if you bought these a bunch at $1, you doubled on just your buy list price. You can go try and sell them for $3.50, $4 if you want to. But $2 for a card that's in the threes, not bad. I was ready to tell y'all don't do this if they were just offering shit, because they would say the same thing. Yeah. They are very, very transparent and very like customer advocate over at Card Conduit, which is why they are one of the main sponsors on our channel. Card Conduit, best place to sell your cards online. We say it a lot, but what does that mean? Jake, Trav, I'm gonna do our little sponsor segment now. You're welcome to hang out. You're welcome to go get some water if you'd like.
No, dude, Card Conduit it's so great right now to have a site like this, because there are a lot of people who have probably done just like some limited drafts and that type of thing. And, you know, like Urbrask's Forge has popped off, Brotherhood's End, like all these cards from Bro and DMU. You were just talking about how it makes a lot of sense to go back and look at sets from a couple years ago now, not
Seriously,
just 1 year.
You're gonna have to.
And like, if you just feel like you're not, I don't play Standard, or I'm not gonna play these decks, like, now's the time to go send these over to Card Conduit.
That's absolutely right. With Card Conduit, you go over there, you sign up, you start an order. They're going to walk you through the very specific instructions of making sure that everything arrives to them safely and you get the maximum money for your cards. You ship your unsorted Magic cards to them. They catalog, assess the quality of each card. Then they buy list them, meaning they sell those cards. They send the cash to you, and minus their fees, obviously. And you can save a little bit more with your fees if you use code JAJM. That's JAJAM at checkout. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Jake and I actually met with Card Conduit today. They've got a lot of very cool things in the works. Card Conduit is not done being just card conduit. They're not happy with that. Global domination only, baby. And they're working on it. Very transparent company, very consumer advocate over there. They want you to have the best possible experience. And I'm not blowing smoke up your butt with that one. That is a very true statement about them.
I'm not sponsored by Card Conduit. I make no money from them. But I will say that a lot of, because people in my play group like your content, they have multiple people have used multiple times the service, and they've been really happy and surprised with the results of it. So
that's right. Card Conduit, we've only ever heard good things. Go use them, sell your cards. It's a great one. Thank you to Card Conduit for sponsoring the channel. Drip Shop. Drip Shop is where we live stream once a month at the very least. We're going to be giving away some stuff. We're going to be auctioning some stuff. We got some sweet cards for sale. September 21st, if I'm not mistaken, is our next show. Yes, that is a Saturday. September 21st is our next show. I was telling you at the beginning of the stream, it's going to be a special one. We've got some like interconnectivity between a video that's going to be coming out next week on the channel, and then at that show, that live show on the 21st, there's going to be, you know, some payoffs from that video. And I'm trying to be very vague about it so that y'all can hopefully enjoy it, but tease it because we're really excited and we've worked really hard to make next week's video pretty sweet and make this next stream a cool one too. Thank you to Drip Shop for sponsoring the channel. Streams over there. Yeah, what did you think from the viewer side of Drip Shop? It's kind of a wild place.
Yeah, it's always different. Really fun. I mean, the vibes are always cool. Like, it's the type of thing where I think it's fun to check in on and just see how you all are doing for a little bit. And it's not, you know, I don't think anyone's suggesting that. I know you have some hardcore fans that will stay there the entire time, but you just get in, see if you can get a good deal on some product, play a game, check stuff out. It's a good vibe, and you guys do a good job hosting that stream. So I hope people can check it out.
We appreciate that. Thanks to Drip. Use our link. Go sign up for Drip. You're going to get free credit on the website. It's kind of a random roll. The credit you get, it's between like $10, which is mostly what people get, but it goes up to like $250. So I'm really waiting to hear somebody get like $100 off of that sign up link. I think the most has been like in the 30s or 40s, but then you can just use that credit to buy stuff on the website, including at our show on the 21st. And I have a lot of cool singles for sale and for auctions and blind boxes, stuff like that. It'll be a fun show. Use our link, go sign up for Drip. There'll be a lot more announcements coming soon. When that show's actually scheduled, so you can go RSVP to it, and we'll see you there. It'll be a fun one. Also, big shout out and thanks to TCG Player. Y'all know him, y'all love him. Biggest marketplace. Go let stores compete for your purchase. You're gonna get the lowest price that you can get on a card. There's a reason, pretty much industry wide, we all go, was TCG low on that? Exactly. That's how impactful they are. TCG Player, thank you for sponsoring the channel. Use our link if you're going to check out over there. It helps the channel at no extra cost to you and shows TCG Player that they should keep sponsoring Jake and I so that we can have cool people like Travis on our stream. There you go. Love that. Dragon Shields are the best sleeves you can possibly use. I think we may actually be meeting up with Dragon Shield in Vegas. We're working out some stuff for them. Next time we'll see them. Check out their app, y'all. If you haven't already, you need to go check out the Dragon Shield app. It has a yellow symbol in your store. If you go search Dragon Shield in your store, it's going to have a little yellow symbol. Here, I'm going to pull up the store, Google store, so y'all can see. It is a scanner, and it is a collection tracker, and it is a trade helper. And I've used all of those functions in the last week. I've always been kind of a skeptic, a little bit of a hater with scanner apps. They've never really worked great for me. I tried Dragon Shields for the first time when they got this like a year or two ago, and I wasn't very impressed. And I told them that. I was like, it's fine, but there's too much time. And you multiply that times 1,000 cards, it just doesn't work. They asked us to try it about a month ago. They were like, hey, we've done a lot of improvements on the app. We're about to make a big push. Check it out. See what you think. We would love to make some videos and stuff with y'all about it. I was blown away. The scanner seriously is, I'm not bullshitting you, the best I've ever used. Cards in sleeves, holding like this, I just gotta go doo doo doo, and it catches it. You just gotta hit it for a second, find the no glare, and if you're in a place with no glare, your sleeves aren't, or your cards aren't sleeved, it's done. You're done. MTG Scanner, Dragon Shield, that's the app right there from Arcane Tinman. Go sign up. if you have already and you have the app, hang on, I'm going to pull up my friend code so you can add me. Trav, are you on the app?
Yeah, I'm on the app.
Are you my friend?
I don't think we're friends yet.
Oh my God.
Let me see if I can open up.
Okay, hang on. Send invite. Okay, here we go. Scan this code. I'm going to hold it up for long enough. I'm going to try and be very still.
Okay.
Let me see if this works.
I think it's not showing what you needed to show right now.
Can't focus. Okay, there we go. No, I don't think it's working here. What I can do is I can copy the link and then come to my own YouTube stream. Yeah, so anyway, you need to go check out the Dragon Shield app, y'all. Seriously, I'm not BSing you when I say that it's fantastique. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Just hit you with the invite in chat there. Go be my friend on the Dragon Shield app. We can talk about cards and Dragon Shields. You know how it works. Dragon Shield, thank you for sponsoring. See y'all in Vegas, hopefully.
I got some custom Dragon Shields made whenever, because I'm a patron of Jake and Joel Are Magic, and I know that that comes with some sleeves that at a certain tier after a certain period of time, and so I qualified. And while I was there getting some custom stuff from you guys, I also decided to get my logo up on a couple sleeves and ordered a couple boxes. So yeah, and they showed up great. Really love them. Use them all the time. It's awesome.
Custom sleeves from Dragon Shield are definitely a treat. They ain't cheap, but they are worth it. The quality is really good. They are actual Dragon Shields. It's another company that's just like obsessed with quality control. The one time I've ever heard of that falling, they made it so right. They were like bending over backwards to make everybody right and whole again. Love Dragon Shields.
They're also such like I know you mentioned like the price. I think it's really cool as a gift for people. Like if you have some friends,
yeah,
because you can kind of get in on multiple orders, get that shipping all in, and like with the holidays coming up in a couple months or something along those lines, you know, getting a couple sets of them, it's pretty awesome.
Appreciate Dragon Shield. Y'all go join the app. Go be my friend. I just need some friends. It's all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever needed. Thank you to Dragon Shield. MTG stocks, y'all saw them earlier in the video. We love them because the prices go back so far. Let me pull up a option here. Howling Mine has been around since alpha. You can go back and see what the prices were because MTG stocks tracks prices that far back, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Jake and I always go back to MTG stocks, because you can check what the price was July 2012. Can't go back all the way to the 90s, but you know, they're doing their best with the information and technology available. Go check out MTG stocks premium services. Got a lot of notifications, specific, really, you know, intricate notification setups that you can do. Lots of tracking of the secret layers too.
I was looking up because of the fact that I'm doing these drafts tomorrow for Bro and DMU, I was looking up the EV over time of both of these sets. Because it's kind of cool. You can look up like total EV of the cards in the main set, which is pretty neat. Yeah, you just go and
you're doing Bro, right?
Click in on there, and yeah, they just show them on that page once you click through there. Yeah, so you can go to expected value, and you can just see how it's changed. And so you can see like what was interesting is I don't know what happened in January that made a lot of these pop, but it went up in January, and then we had like a little bit of a dip, and now we're coming back up. DMU in particular, I think, is experiencing a lot of the stuff, so it's been kind of neat to see it change over time. And I don't think you would normally expect, like, this is that power of that standard change, right? Where you would not expect to see the EV in a standard set change like this. I mean, especially, yeah, as we see here with DMU, it's like, it's interesting to see what's happening.
Yeah, it is. I'm assuming that this entire pop is just Shieldred. And honestly, that could, one card blowing up really big could move the entire EV up a chunk, back down a chunk when it was like, it's not picking up any harder than it actually was.
Sure.
I am interested here. This also feels like this could be a tournament announcement. This could be, you know, the next.
I know there was standard
RC
earlier this year,
right?
I think like the season was standard. So
exactly.
Maybe that was it.
So people start needing to buy cut downs and Shieldreds, and suddenly the prices of the packs are going up following the prices of those singles. But yeah, MTG Stocks is the best place to go and find that information should you want it. Big thanks to MTG Stocks for sponsoring the channel. Also got to mention Moxfield. Y'all saw him on the channel earlier. It's where we put all our deck lists and everything. Go check out Moxfield. Follow us over there as well. We are updating our decks all the time. I don't put any Brawl content on this channel just because it's not really what we talk about on this channel. But I keep my Brawl decks up to date nearly weekly. I'll say every 2 weeks just to be like very comfortable that I'm telling the truth. But all of my Arena Brawl decks are in here that I'm actively playing or just keep to, you know, go do quests with. You can see I have one of every individual color so you can go beat your quests for the day and move along. But yeah, go follow us over on Moxfield.
I've been using Moxfield over the last week. It's fun. I've been using all your sponsors. I've been using them over the last week because I have a lot of friends. But behind me are the BCW boxes or whatever that have you know, all these cards that I've opened. I have a lot of friends that are getting into Standard with me right now. And so what I do is I just say like, hey, send me your deck lists. I combine, especially the cards that you need, I combine all of the cards that all my friends need into, this is an unconventional way of using Moxfield, but I combine them all into one deck list so that I can sort them by set. So then I open up the one box and I'm like, okay, my 3 friends, they need all these cards from All We Won.
Yeah.
And so, and it's all sorted right there on Moxfield because you can organize it by set and it works out really well. So really been enjoying using them this past week.
I do want to show a feature here because Food Time just made a really good point. This is a version of Lumra that I was working on, but let's go to Scryfall. And let's say I want to put unnatural growth in this deck for some reason. Watch this. 115 main deck over here. It's hard, chat can't see it, but look. I just dragged a card from a Scryfall window, chat, over to my window with my deck list. Tricky.
It's
Very
so nice.
Cute. Very cute. Moxfield is also another one of the companies that we work with, and you said, you know, I've been using all your sponsors recently. Yeah, that's why we went after the ones we went after, because they are fantastically useful. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We appreciate them. We appreciate y'all for being patient and letting us pay the bills. Go check out those sponsors though, because we ain't BSing when we say they're fantastic. Opening up Duskmourn, hitting refresh. Let's talk about some cards. I want to look at Duskmourn spoilers because I haven't done a real big deep dive. I've been seeing lots of cards that are crazy.
Are you ready to give yourself neck pain again?
Yeah,
it's been over a year since we had battles, Joel.
Yeah, but
the neck pain has returned.
We filmed a video yesterday coming out tomorrow, and yeah, we did not think to prepare it. Joel did not think to prepare it with assets that were turned in a way they could be read. Jake was like, y'all don't worry, I'm turning. It's already been turned for y'all in the edit. I want to talk about Overlord of the Mistmoors. You want to talk about Standard? Let's talk about Standard a little bit. Overlord of the Mistmoors can enter as an enchantment for 4 mana. And it still gets the enters the battlefield because it is still Overlord of the Mistmoors entering. So that whenever Overlord of the Mistmoors enters, still triggers if you pay 4 mana for it, enters as a non-creature enchantment with 4 time counters on it. Now, hang on a second, because I saw a card that was printed in March of the Machine, in the same color, by the way. It says exile up to 1 or enchantment you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control, and why not draw a card? Sure. Let me talk to y'all about how things re-enter battlefields. You pay the impending cost on this. It enters with 4 time counters on it, 4 mana. If it doesn't have a counter on it, it's not a creature. When this ETBs, with a card like Scroll Shift, it's not entering with counters because you didn't pay the impending cost. You didn't pay anything. It's just re-entering, and it comes back in its most natural state, which is a 6/6 that ETBs creates 2 more 2/1s. So now you already had to have it on the battlefield. So you had 4 flying power. Now you got 8 flying power, and you got 6 power on the battlefield. Give it haste or don't. I mean, at that point, it's just like whatever.
I mean, in Commander too, this is pretty neat, potentially, if you're playing a deck that cares about enchantments, because it feels like a cool way where if somebody plays some sort of removal or something that's not going to hit enchantments, your Overlord kind of survives and is like ready to enter after those turns. So it's kind of a neat way to bring that in. Obviously, once you get to Commander, you have all these other interesting ways to flicker cards and do all that type of stuff, but pretty cool.
Removing counters, it was just brought to my attention, is something that something does. What am I looking here?
Yeah, there's been a couple things that remove counters, right? Yeah.
Glissa's a good creature. I mean, 3 mana, 3/3 first strike death touch.
Yeah, she's already seeing some standard play.
Yeah.
So there's another reason. Now, obviously here you need to be in 3 colors to make that work, but...
And you got to deal combat damage. But, I mean, there's going to be impending in black and green if there isn't already.
Yeah.
I mean... Oh, impending. Enters or attacks create a tapped colorless land token named everywhere that is every basic land type. I mean, now hang on. This is insane. 3 mana? This one is not as sexy, but still interesting. But 3 mana to get this in there and then start just ramping like crazy.
I'm just excited about having to need even more tokens when I go to play limited with friends.
ETBs or attacks 4 damage to any target. That is good. 4 is steep.
That is pretty cool.
4 is steep, but 4 to any target in the colors to give it haste too. So we haven't seen the black avatar, or at least it's not on Scryfall. Have we seen the black avatar chat on Twitter or anything?
You know, 4 is steep, but if you have something that cares about enchantments already on the board, then you're paying 4 to deal 4 damage to something and get maybe some sort of bonus, you know?
Man, they have got a lot of remove counters on here. Oh, it's because they're... Oh, there we go.
It's because of poison counters.
Remove up to 5 counters from target permanent and draw a card.
It's because of poison counters and incubate tokens.
Right.
From last year.
Right. And so, actually now, Travis, your first point is being made in a completely different way right now, which is length of standard, sets that are coming out, going to take advantage of some of these mechanics, perhaps even in different ways. Look at a card like Render Inert. Probably not getting played, but now it's suddenly like, well, I mean, what's the black avatar? Maybe its impending is 2.
Yeah, because that card we were just looking at also is kind of planeswalker removal, right?
Yeah. That and it kills the incubate tokens.
Yeah.
The ones that are 5.
Yeah, I mean, I think the incubate tokens are nice, but like I'm just trying to figure out how, you know, if you're going to run that card, you want to have multiple uses for it.
Yeah, right.
And
exactly.
Maybe, you know, as a way of dealing with some pesky planeswalkers that pop up or something along those lines.
I think that bouncing these things, flickering these things, and this is going to be something that they absolutely took into account, designed around.
Sure.
But they are still going to have seeded some tools in there. Exile, return, target. This should probably get us there. Okay, creature artifact, exactly. So they were like, Abuelo will not be playing with our impending avatars.
Yeah, against all odds is also artifact creature.
Sorry. Okay. Exile, return, target, permanent, and then we'll do enchantment. So 5, sacrifice, nope. Okay, return target permanent to hand. Nope. When it's turn face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you control it, return it to the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, its controller creates.
Oh, there's something in Bloomborough. Wait, there's something in Bloomborough that, they're all the frogs, right? I would think, or maybe those are only creatures. Those are probably only creatures.
Season of the Burrow, though. Exile target non-land permanent. I'm liking this. How much did it cost to put them face down? 3?
3. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's rough.
That's slow, but this is kind of the thing. Is a creature that can flip our overlord back into being a creature early as hell. I mean,
so you play it on 3,
you flip
then
it up
you play
this on 4.
Your overlord on 4, then on turn 5 you flip it.
For 2 mana, you can flip it up, get 2 more flying power. I mean, you're probably running the white virtue to create creatures and grow them if we're doing a full go wide version of this. Jake made an interesting point when we were talking about this card that it could be it's got all the trappings of like a classic control finisher. Just completely take them off the board, destroy their entire plan, have this impending, let the creatures in the air be blockers, slow them down, very classic control. And then at that point, 1 attack is 10 power. And so you're pretty much dead in 2 attacks. That could be a potential way to use this as well. Have your turn 6 or your 6 mana turn in the control deck be a turn where you impending this and you leave 2 mana open for your no more lies, right?
Well, and again, like the interesting thing is I think a lot of people might look at this and go like, oh, I have to pay 4, I get these 2/2/1s, okay, that's okay rate or whatever,
right?
But I think a lot of people might not remember that like it is also an enchantment in and of itself. So if you are running some sort of deck that can take advantage of the fact that you're playing an enchantment as well,
right,
then you could potentially see some benefits from that. I don't think that this is the right fit for this deck, but we were just looking at that card earlier that got reprinted in a standard that cares about enchantments that you control, like those types of things that are just going to be sitting there and excited to see an enchantment enter. I think that could be really cool.
Now, here's coming at it from the opposite direction. If we can figure out a way to get it into our graveyard, I mean, in red, you're drawing discarding like crazy.
What is the red? Okay, so the red one is the one that does 4 damage to something.
Yeah.
As well. So like this card hits both of those potentially.
Oh yeah, dude. Hell yes.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, campus renovation in standard. 5 mana Boros, reanimate the overlords.
Aftermath, known for its incredible playables,
Yeah. Interesting. The overlords, I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I think that they're
cool. Also, there's cool cards.
Absolutely. This one. So, chat, this one is which one are you talking about? The white, you like that it's not Grave
Bakes
Titan.
In the chat.
It's like
that's who Joel's responding to.
White enchantment. Did you see this one today? Hedge Shredder?
No, I have not seen this yet.
This is
when it attacks, you may mill 2 cards.
Yeah, vehicle that can crew for 1 and mill, but it's the middle text that's got everybody freaking out. And I'm sorry that I couldn't find a picture here with fewer pixels than this. But whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped is pretty insane text to see on a card.
You know what already sees play is Aftermath Analyst, which wants you to mill 3 cards, and then you can also pay 4 and return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Yes.
So that's already in, because that's from MKM, so it's in standard and will be for a while. Like, there are a lot of... I played against recently a deck that just wanted to get a ton of cards onto the battlefield, a ton of lands on the battlefield really fast. Like, it's using Aftermath Analyst. I think it's using the food from Bloomborough. That's like a food artifact that lets you go get a land and twice, I think. There's just a lot of this type of stuff right now, and I'm wondering, and this feels like it could fit into that pretty well.
Looking at it from the commander perspective, whenever one or more lands are put into your graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped. There's an old card called Morality Shift. Never been reprinted since Judgment. But it just says exchange your graveyard and your library. What that would do for 7 mana is put every single land that was in your library onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
You'll need to figure out some way to get your graveyard, get it back into your library, but this effect has not existed. This is just kind of a wild version of it here to be printed into a standard set. You've had
You're saying I need to go pick up 30 copies of Morality Shift.
No. I'm
on it right now.
Even if
TCG Player.
Even if I thought that this was going to be the next Nadu, you missed your pickup window. This is so scarce. Like, no. Brother, brother. Hermit Druid. I saw somebody in chat say this. Yes, BuzzFuzz. This is the classic way to do this hedge shredder. This was an old CDH deck. I mean, it might still be. It's CDH players. Is this still combo in the format, or are you laughed out of the room if you play Hermit Druid still? Are you a boomer? Reveal cards from top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put that card into your hand, and all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. Basically, the way the CDH combo worked is you don't run a basic land. You mill your whole deck. You Thassa's Oracle. Bob's your uncle. That was the old way of doing things. Now Hedge Shredder's here.
Dude, East or West says Crew 1. You know what? And that is a very good point. Because for instance, what has 1 power is Aftermath Analyst. I really feel like there's a world where you turn to Aftermath, turn for Head Shredder.
Yeah, especially what your turn 1 is going to be.
Yeah.
Landwar Elfin. You'll be playing Landwar Elfin come November.
There's nothing more I love than tapping and Urtzagging.
Bro, it's not a Friday night until I've Urtzagged a little green. You know what I'm saying? I'm Urtzagging a little green, or it's not a weekend. Let's be real.
Maybe if Foundations comes out.
Jake, you missed the Urtzagging the green joke. Come on, buddy.
I'm gonna. Foundations won't be out in time for me to do this when I'm in Germany for League of Legends World Championships.
Oh, dude, I'm going to go pull out. I've got a play set of these, and I've got there are these, and I've got a play set of these from back in the day.
Joel, I've only been playing for 2 years, so I didn't. It looks like this card was printed a lot. It seems really popular. It seems like it was a really popular card.
It's a token. You can get it as a token. You can get it as a secret lair. This one's $10. The 30th anniversary edition is. I'm gonna laugh at you if you buy it. I am interested in these, but talk about promos, baby.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hard to get. Yeah, I think you're right, man. Turn 2 Aftermath. Maybe even turn 2. Is our Topiary Stomper still in?
I feel like
standard?
Aftermath is also seeing play in Pioneer too.
Topiary Stomper rotated. What'll the domain decks play now? Chat, what did they replace this with?
They still exist.
I know.
The reason actually
they just had to have replaced it with something.
The thing that's going to kill domain is you guys have probably already looked at this because I think it's been out for a while, is the card that removes, you send a target creature into a graveyard and then you can bring it back.
I have to know
and that's in Duskmourn.
Oh, is that Moss? Oh my god, I've never seen this art. What? I want to play this just for the showcase art of this now. Why have I never seen this card?
The art. Okay. I was worried for a second when you said you hadn't seen Mosswood Dread Knight.
What is this card? No, I've never seen this art of it. Oh, that is cool
the
looking.
storybook version of it or whatever it's called.
I can get a playset of these for under $5. There's a deck with this in standard, right? This is too good not to have a deck. Yeah.
There's multiple. Golgari runs this deck.
Yeah. I mean, draw a card, lose a life,
and
it
Golgari's
comes
on
back.
top.
Yeah, that deck is
Yep.
gotta be good.
No,
They play the
super good.
food
It's
that gives you 2
very good.
basics. A food that gives you 2 basics. Heaped Harvest.
Yeah.
Good description.
This is
Number
what I was talking about earlier.
Pinch Hit
This is
Hero.
what Domain is.
Kudos
This
for
is
that
what Domain
description.
is playing, Joel. They
ETBs
use this
and when you sacrifice. Damn, dude, Bloomborough got us
Yeah.
those ETB and sack artifacts, didn't they?
No, turn 2, you Aftermath Analyst. Turn 3, you Heaped Harvest. Turn
No,
4,
you
you
need
play
Travis,
this new...
Travis, you got to live the Llanowar Elf life, buddy. I don't know if
Vehicle.
I don't know about Aftermath in this deck.
Listen,
'cause you
we're
turn
not at
2 Heaped
Foundation yet,
Harvest.
Joel. Joel, we're not at
I'm just
Foundation
telling
yet.
you, it's silly how excited I am for a 1-drop green creature. I just have very fond memories.
Yeah, it's
of
really
playing
exciting
Llanowar.
that they're printing that.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm great that we could get excited about this new 1-drop.
You're gonna get to play
Llanowar Elf.
turn 2 Heaped Harvest, turn 3 Head Shredder. Let's download an art crop.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
Could we use it as the YouTube thumbnail?
Absolutely. Let this work. Oh man, Christy's been working. Christy's been working. All these cards recently. It's got to be sweet to get an art commission from Wizards and then be like, we're using this as one of our morphing thing cards on Arena. It's gonna have 5
Okay.
versions.
Here's the play, Joel.
Yeah.
You turn 2 Aftermath Analyst.
Oh my god,
You
you have
turn
3
3.
mana on turn 2. Keep going.
You turn 2 Aftermath Analyst.
Yeah.
You turn 3. Llanowar Elves is not in this set, Joel. It's not available until Foundations.
You're gonna blink and Llanowar Elves are gonna be coming out of your nose.
I'm trying to preview this set right now, which is what I was told this stream would be.
Yes.
And you cannot get Llanowar Elves out of your mouth.
Not when green is coming up.
Okay, so you turn 2 Aftermath Analyst. Turn
Correct.
3, you do the food thing that I forget the name of already that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Turn 4, you use the new vehicle, or Head Shredder. Turn
Heaped
5,
Harvest.
you play Atraxa. All right. You pass turn.
Grand Unifier?
Yes.
Because
You play
we
Atraxa
just
Grand Unified. This is what Domain does right now in Standard. Okay.
Oh, I'm seeing. I see.
So you play Atraxa Grand Unifier.
Uh-huh.
Then you pass turn. Then your opponent casts Come Back Wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, oh God, what do I do now?
I mean, Come Back Wrong is pretty much an Atraxa. Yeah, okay. Bring her out. I'll use her too. Let's go.
Yeah.
I love Atraxa.
Yeah. Yeah, this card is super cool. I think we've already talked about it previously, or you guys have, because I think it's been previewed for a little bit.
Yeah, this was one of the earlier preview cards.
Yeah, but I do think it's very funny that, like, that is going to be. I wonder how much of a menace this card is going to be for any deck that wants to ramp and then play something big.
I love this. This is immediately the type of card where I look at all of my commander decks with black and I go, all right, what boring, I know it's really good removal piece am I going to take out for the far superior, much more fun Come Back Wrong?
Yeah.
Come Back Wrong is a card I really like.
Trung in the chat, Farmer Watsy intern, says, hey guys, my friend Travis wants to play Commander with me this weekend, but it's a fake format and I don't have a deck. How would you tell him Commander is a baby fake format compared to Standard? Do you have any thoughts, Joel?
Yeah, go get a pre-con deck and you'll beat him. And when you defeat Travis, there's just nothing sweeter in this entire world than defeating Travis.
In one day, Joel, you might taste that. But until then, I will still remember when I used Price of Progress to do like 36 damage to you in Salt Lake City.
I've chosen not to remember that. Funeral Room says, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. 3-mana enchantment. We've seen this card before. It's a lot like...
Joel, what is a room? I'm new. This is the first time I'm seeing a room because I haven't seen the spoilers this week, and I'm a Jake and Joel are Magic viewer. So maybe you should explain what a room is.
This side is the first part. So with the rooms, yes, I was getting to that. We've got this new mechanic. This card we've seen a lot. What is the name of this facade? It creates a 1/1 when it comes in the battlefield. It's in every one of these decks. It's not a facade, it's like a monument. Monumental something. Anyway, it's a version of that. Don't get the 1/1 with this version of it. Each opponent, I like that a lot. Nice. So with these rooms, you play that as an enchantment. Then it just sits on the battlefield, facing sideways, looking strange, because cards don't face sideways unless they're tapped. But not this one, it just faces sideways. Awakening Hall is the other quote-unquote door. Okay, look at each of these as a door. Once it's on the battlefield for one of the costs, you can pay either the 3 or the 8, and it comes on as that half. Once it's there, you can pay the mana cost of the other door, the other side of the card, to also unlock that one. It's like leveling up. It's kind of like classes. It's kind of like leveling up. It's like any number of permanents that we've had that you can further sink mana into to make it permanently different.
Yeah.
It is now, an enchantment, even further to your point of enchantments being relevant in this format.
Yep.
Which question?
I have a big question, though.
JAJAM.
What does this card look like if I tap it?
It actually opens up a vortex on the battlefield. That's why they've made it here, because you're not supposed to, because they unlocked a weird... It's a Duskmourn thing, man.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, have you ever summoned a demon before?
I magic? Like...
No, I'm talking in real life. Have you contacted the Dark Realm and brought forth the engine of your own destruction? Have you ever done that?
Well, I know you live in... I think that might be like... I grew up in Southern California, so I don't think that's like a big thing we do here, but maybe...
Yeah, you mostly just have to worry about pollution and landslides.
Yeah. Pollution got a lot better after some climate
like don't
changes
go
that
to...
Reagan put in.
Don't...
Anyway,
Reagan.
Let's get into rooms.
I like how good Reagan was for the environment.
Yeah.
So rooms, yes, it's an enchantment. You can play this for either half. Once it's already on the battlefield, you pay into it, you get the other half as well. Of note, if you don't cast it, you don't unlock a door. So you can cheat this onto the battlefield, sure, but they're both still locked. You would have to then pay the cost to unlock a door to have any effect from this just being a present card.
If you bounce it, they're both still locked.
Correct. Right. Exactly. If it flickers. Same thing. It enters and it wasn't cast, nothing happens. It sits there. Gotta pay the mana. Yes. That's really what it comes down to with these doors, is that you gotta pay the mana. I think that there's been a little bit of like cognitive dissonance with people with this mechanic because of the flavor text, but it's kind of simple once it's explained to you. It's not as heavy lift as like even the One Ring, that not the card, the mechanic, Ring Bearer, sorry. It's not as heavy lift as Ring Bearer by any means. It's just like leveling up. Once you think of it as leveling up or a class or something like that, you got it. And then you may pay the mana cost of a locked door to unlock it. All that shit, just ignore that. You don't need that.
Or any kind of these dual spells, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a permanent, but you're right. Exactly. Dual spell.
So split card kind of?
Exactly. This one's cool because it's some of the cards you can like, I want to play this half first. I want to play this half first. With this one, it's pretty clear the story you're telling. We're starting in the funeral room and then we're going to the Awakening Hall. But Rise of the Dark Realms, part of Rise of the Dark Realms, you don't get all their graveyards, but Rise of the Dark Realms, that's sort of a threat. I actually don't know how I feel about this card. Obviously, if I'm sitting down my graveyard deck, I'm advertising that I want my graveyard. I don't want you to Bajuka Bog it, but if there's advertising, this is a giant neon arrow being like, don't let me get too much in my graveyard.
Yeah, there's that. I think the other thing that's interesting about it is just... like, you probably do want this effect early on in Commander if you're playing some sort of sack deck or whatever. and it forces some sort of response from them because they can't just board wipe, otherwise you can activate the Awakening Hall. Like I like that it's a threat that sits on the battlefield that they have to figure out some sort of puzzle for, you know?
Right.
And it's one of those things where in Commander I've been trying to spend a lot more time thinking about like politicking and kind of outmaneuvering my opponents. And the idea that you can have that sitting on the board, it's public information that you have this essentially Rise of the Dark Realms, and you can be like, okay, they're going to spend all their time figuring out how to deal with this. And then what they won't know is that like I have an actual Rise of the Dark Realms in my head that's ready to cast once they feel like they've gotten rid of the threat and they've started to make plans accordingly. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be really fun. I also just like visually the art on these things.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they look sick. And it's so funny because they are not battles, but they remind me so much of battles. And
that's funny.
It's just because of their presentation.
Yeah, it's just such a newer card. In battles, to me, I'm just like, what?
One of the things that's gonna be so annoying, and I wish, like, not to go off on a tangent too much on this, but I do feel like I play a lot of paper limited, and it has been frustrating recently that Wizards has not, like, it feels like they don't think often about coming up with solutions for a lot of the problems that they present from a logistic perspective. Like the amount of tokens, like Bloomborough had 500 tokens, and like there'd be so many times where I'd be like, okay, I've now collected 20 tokens and I'm gonna bring them in the box, and I'd go draft and I'd be like, oh, this one lizard offspring creature I don't actually have something for.
Right.
And I'm guessing they don't have a solution on how to showcase which room you've opened. Now, it's probably not going to be that big of an issue for things like Funeral Room and Awakening Hall.
Right.
But it's just like, I do kind of wish for something like Central Elevator and Promising Stairs that are like close in mana value, especially when people are playing these at pre-release and that type of thing, that there was a good solution for these. I mean, I think what I'll probably end up doing is just start pulling them halfway out of a sleeve to try to denote which side is open or not. But yeah, it's just, it's a little annoying.
I think this will be much easier to track than some of the stuff that we've received this year. Like Suspect, like Committed a Crime. I mean, Committed a Crime became a little bit easier to track because it was just sort of inclusive of,
yeah, you could just backtrack and say like, yeah, I killed that thing or something. But
right. This, I feel like I put a you know, I put a coin, I put a marker on it. I'm like, yeah, it's unlocked. This one's interesting. This is like Maze's End. This is like Maze's End to Mazes is Central Elevator and Promising Stairs to Rooms. That's kind of cool. You win the game.
Yeah.
And Promising Stairs at the beginning of your upkeep, Surveil 1. By the way, holy crap. That's really good. As a repeatable effect at the beginning of every of your turns, Surveil 1. Ooh, baby. I call that scry with style. You win the game if there are 8 or more different rooms. Wow.
So I think is supposed to be like the room the room archetype in this. I hope it works out really well, because I feel like it's tough for them sometimes when they experiment a lot, but I think in limited it could end up being really fun if this ends up working out well. It'll be just very funny when like this goes. You're right that it will be somewhat easy to say, okay, this one's open, this one isn't, but imagine when you're like trying to get what this says, that Promising Stairs says you win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. So you're just building a hallway essentially.
4 cards all unlocked
on your playmat. You're like, yep, I've unlocked all these. I mean, I don't know how much people are ever going to do anything with that beyond like, I'm sure it's mostly there for the Surveil 1, but it is just kind of funny.
For 3 mana, this one's going to let you create a token of a creature. Pretty sweet to get a copy at 3 mana. Always love a good copy at 3 mana. You know, the 2 mana copies like Phantasmal Image, very limited, very limited number of those. 3 mana have become a little more common recently. You know, 4 mana is kind of that's the classic, but seeing that on 1/2, and then 7 mana Steep. But
dude, they have loved these ability trigger doubles in the last couple of years.
Yes,
we're just seeing so many of them.
Panharmonicon used to be it. Now it's everywhere.
It's like double something that's power 2 or less, double something that looked at you funny, double something that has 3 color pips in it.
It is crazy. This is any triggered ability of a permanent. Any triggered ability for any reason. That could be insane. Usually 3 mana to copy your own thing, 4 mana to copy anything. Oh, it does. Okay, it does say you control. Yeah. I read those words, but I wasn't making that distinction.
I don't know if this would make sense, but I have the Esper Ariat from OTJ built as a commander where you cast enchantments to copy.
Yeah, I remember you saying you built that deck. How did it go?
It's very fun. It's very mean, and so I don't tend to play it as much unless I feel like other people are playing mean stuff.
It's like Heather
but
Green.
It is really fun, and I wonder if that is a card that I would want to put in there because you can copy people's permanents that you're taking from them. And then oftentimes those permanents are going to have abilities that you might want to copy or double, I guess I should say.
Ooh, Jank with the clutch tech coming through. That says win, ladies and gentlemen. Win means triggered ability. So if you can get Fractured Realm on the board unlocked and pay 3, you'll get 2 copies. Sexy!
That is cool.
I like that, Jake.
Whenever
thank you
you
for
know
that
those crazy YouTube shorts that you make where you come up with like insane combos that don't make any sense that no one would ever play in real life.
Yeah.
You turn Fractured Realm, you turn this enchantment into a creature, and then you make copies of itself.
Oh my god.
Which I think would mean that their rooms would be. I actually don't know if they'd be unlocked or locked because they did say there are some cases in which rooms are unlocked.
50 cards. Do we have one in standard?
No, you're not doing this in standard.
Destroy target enchantment. In the colors. Target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types. For 2 mana. We get, oh baby,
base power and toughness equal to its mana value.
Yes, dude. Okay, so this is a 7/7. We got Fractured Realm on the battlefield and we unlocked it. Congratulations. That's already happened. I know we're hand waving. There's a lot in that ... but we're going to ... that part. And then we also have Zur, by the way, ... Then we're going to pay 2 mana and we're going to animate Fractured Realm. You came up with this silly shit. I'm just the one executing it. I love it.
We're trying to help you with content.
7/7. Oh, baby. That's now a 7/7. And then we're going to pay 3. Okay, hang on. We got to work this stack out because this is interesting. So, stack, here we go. We've got the creature and we trigger of Mirror Room. And so we're going to get Mirror Room trigger, Mirror Room trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is of a target creature you control. It doesn't say others, so it can target itself because I don't think it was ever planning on being the creature that we're copying. I'm just trying to figure out if we're gonna get because it happened. I was trying to figure out if we were gonna get even more triggers because we're gonna have the second Fractured Realm on the battlefield when the first one. When the second one resolves, the next one
comes in.
Right, but I think we've already passed the trigger, and so that's already been doubled. That's already been unlocked because the unlock is the trigger. We're not looking for like one of these tokens to come into the battlefield or anything like that. Huh.
Now the question is, if it's not, I need to look up because I know that like sometimes they're locked. Like when you copy it, I think it's unlocked, but when it's not, it does something. So. I don't know if they come in locked or unlocked. If the doors come in unlocked, then you can just keep opening them. You need the mana.
And isn't it a 10 mana creature? Am I remembering that correctly? Okay, so I don't think we need the stack. I think the stack is pretty straightforward. Is this a 10 mana creature if we animate it? And its power and toughness is equal to
We need a judge in the chat. Any judges in the chat?
MTG split card total mana value. Mana value of a split card is always the combination of both halves, except on the stack. On the stack, only the half, which is cast, is
So it
considered.
is a 10 mana card.
So it is a 10 mana creature. That's what I thought. That we've animated.
Yes.
By the way, once we've animated it, it has Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. Casual.
Yeah.
And then we can copy it. Okay, so then, yeah, all right. So we copy a room. Duskmourn.
Dude,
Copy
this
of
is like
a
Nadu
room?
all over again. These WotC QA people are not figuring out just how insane combos
This
these
is
could
going to
be,
take down Worlds. Yeah, get ready.
Yeah.
We're putting
I
together
don't
the
know.
Worlds deck for everybody right now.
Do you think they pre-ban this combo after this stream is done? Like,
We're looking
once
at
this gets out?
copy room Duskmourn. Let's see if anybody's asked this already.
Somebody clarified it. It was
No.
said on Reddit. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Copy of rooms. Copy of rooms. Oh, here we go.
Yes, this is what it is.
Matt Tayback, principal magic editor at Wizards of the Coast. We use Matt's tweets a lot to clarify stuff like this. Okay, in my defense, the house is scary and it's hard to focus, but
No,
unfortunately, there's something.
Both doors are locked.
Let's talk copies. If you copy, you get the same choice as the original spell. Same door unlocks. No, wait, hang on. If you copy a room, spell on the stack, you get the same choice as the original spell. The same door unlocks, and the tokens, when you unlock this door ability, will trigger if it has one. You create a token that's a copy of a room on the battlefield. The new token has both doors locked. If something enters as a copy of a room. Okay, it gets more complex if a permanent already on the battlefield becomes a copy of the room. In that case, so this would be like an enchantment becomes a copy of a target enchantment you have. In that case, consider whether the original permanent's left and right doors were already unlocked. In most cases, this means it was a room. What? If so, those doors will be unlocked on the new room. If something that was never a room becomes a copy of a room, both doors will be locked. All right, so everybody clear on that? Good.
Yeah, thank you.
We're not going back, so I hope everybody studied.
Judges are not paid enough.
Wow. Okay, so, all right. So they would be locked because we have created a token that's a copy of a creature.
Which means you can unlock them again and get the trigger again.
Which means you can unlock them and get them the trigger again, but we're not going to be doubling our triggers yet. But we could potentially, the copy has the mirror room. Wow, now hang on. Yeah, dude. Because then you're paying the copies mirror room cost to make 2 more copies.
Yeah.
And that's if we don't have any way to cheat the Fractured Realm door open or just pay it straight up somehow anyway, because we cheated it on the battlefield, remember? ... That's cool, man.
This is the downside of having a 3-year rotation, right? When they designed Mirror Room Fractured Realm, they probably did not even think about Zur Eternal Schemer and the way that we would be able to just break the game like this.
Man, I wish we were in that streamer event. We don't get invited to the early access arena streamer event anymore, but probably because we don't stream arena, that's fair. But this is absolutely a deck that I would try and build because I want to get. Is there a way to? How do we? Okay, now we got to cheat these doors open. When you unlock the store, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. That's not it. Oh, when you unlock the store. Okay, so we don't have anything yet, but room.
We haven't seen all the cards from the set yet.
Yeah, obviously we haven't seen the whole set yet.
I do love, by the way, that there are all these rooms from the Clue set earlier this year that are also like mansion rooms that are lands. It's very funny.
Yeah. Jake, look. A 1-mana mill crab.
He's out there somewhere.
A 1-mana mill crab, Jake. You just got to remake your deck into an enchantment landfall deck. Eerie.
Hey, this counts that land, by the way, that we were talking about, the enchantment land.
Yeah, so is this a new keyword for just this creature, or is this a new code for enchantment fall?
Enchantment.
By the way, check this out. This is all we've seen so far, and I'm sure that there will be at least one more card that does this, like a rare that plays with rooms, but it won't be good because they never are. But deals combat, unlock a locked door. So if we can get the clone side on, then
you turn 3 play the clone side, and then you turn 4 play the ghostly key bearer, and you
turn 5 you're swinging for 3 in the air. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, hang on, I forgot. You turn 1 Llanowar elves.
Correct.
Then
now you're getting it. Yeah, now you're starting to understand standard, and I like how you're catching on.
Yeah.
Smoky Lounge and Misty Salon. Beginning of your first main phase, add 2 red. Oh wow. Oh, never mind. Misty spend this mana
really
only.
Excited there for a second.
Well, I mean, I was like, bro, in red, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
that's insanity. Spend this mana only to cast bad spells. Got it. And then Misty Salon, 4 mana when you unlock the store.
We just demonstrated an incredibly broken spell.
An incredibly broken spell that we don't even know how to get the 7 mana enchantment onto the battlefield yet to do everything we want to do.
This is how you do it.
Whenever you unlock this door, create an XX blue spirit creature token with flying, where X is the number of unlocked doors among rooms you control.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I do think blue-red is going to be really funny, where you're just going to have all these rooms. I mean, to be clear, I think it probably won't work, is what will happen. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I feel like a lot of these archetypes that they try to do something goofy with don't end up working that well. But it will be funny if you just have a million rooms that are open and closed, and you're just like, take a stroll through my hallway.
Come on in. We turn the AC on over here. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room. You fully unlock a room? Does that mean, like, finish the whole thing? Both sides?
I assume.
When it dies, it deals damage equal to... I mean, that seems awful. +2, +0. Oh! All hail. All hail. Headhunter. You've been headhunted. All hail, Rogue Bullhead, new stream, monarch of the stream. Crowns in chat for Rogue Bullhead.
Hunted by Bullhead?
Got it.
That's a lot of head. Dude, this chat has a lot of head in it.
You're going to rile them up, Travis. If you do stuff like that, you're going to rile up the chat. I've seen them riled up before. I don't know if it's what you want. I'm just saying, don't rile them up with stuff like that.
Cards like these, the Eerie effect, by the way, which I guess is Eerie Landfall or Enchantment Landfall.
Enchantment Landfall.
This is the type of stuff that goes back to our first segment of the stream, which was looking at WoE enchantments, right? And seeing what's there, because all those WoE enchantments are going to trigger all of the Eerie effects. So...
Oh, look, a 5/5 trampling haster can't be countered green card. Probably won't see any play. Victor Valgavoth Seneschal. What the is that name? Bro, how did they get that many letters in that combination in this card title? Victor Valgavoth Seneschal. Enchantment Landfall. And whenever you fully unlock a room, surveil 2 if this is the first time this ability is resolved. If it's the second time, each opponent discards. If it's the third time, put a creature card.
I mean, that T in Valgaboth is looking pretty cramped. I think that's how they did it.
Valgavoth's Seneschal.
Seneschal.
I don't ever want anyone to say that to me ever again. Oh, here's our regular version of Twitching Doll. We saw the like bundle promo or something of this.
Yeah. The bundle promo is terrifying. This is not much better.
New Golgari Scarecrow Legend. When it ETBs, create 2 1/1s. It's not bad. As long as there are 4 or more card types, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 have death touch. Nice, it's a cute little...
I need them to tell us what next year's sets are going to be themed around, because... Is there going to be like a bug set, you know?
I think that we've seen it, right? 25.
Well, we know. Isn't there one of them is going back to Dragonland? What is it called?
Dragon, you nailed it. MTG release calendar 2025. Oh, I'm using an ad blocker. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Tarkir.
any of these?
So we got Death Race set, which is like vehicles. Is the most
I think
we know
it's
about
also
that.
like the mom set, right, where you're going through a bunch of different planes.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's do that again. That was successful. Tarkir
It is
set.
cool. Get over it. I don't know. You're always shitting on all their world building. OTJ was not as bad as you make it sound. I
was just about to use that as the example of what the worst it's been.
I listen every week. I sit here and I listen to Joel proclaim from his throne that the world building and his subset was not up to his vague standards.
Look,
and you know the world building on this stream it's also not that great. So I feel like those who live in glass rooms shouldn't unlock them.
Vague standards have made me the man I am today. Okay. Yeah. Death Race set through all the planes. I'm not rolling my eyes at their world building. I'm rolling my eyes that everything is multiverse now. It's all multiverse.
Cool, it's so cool. Think about all those. What are all the different? It's like Mario Kart, where you're like going through a portal and you're suddenly in a different planet. Or what the Ratchet and Clank game did this on the new PS5. It was really fun. Like imagine you're driving a car and you're suddenly jumping through a portal and you're ending up, or a waypath, and you're ending up in New Capenna. And then you're driving it down that street, and then a way path leads you through like a forest in Wilds of Eldraine.
Yeah, could be cool. I want to see
gonna be cool.
I want to see what plane is used as the pit stop plane. Which plane has advanced auto parts? Because I'm assuming I'm gonna need a couple of steering wheel covers. I need some dice for my rear view mirror. I need my wipers replaced.
What's the artifact plane?
Tarkir set is like dragons, right? Tribes, 3 color pairings, probably. I would assume they're going to bring shards back here.
Dude, I'm so excited about volleyball.
Pheno Fantasy. Space theme set. Maybe got some space bugs, and then Lorwyn is going to be the end of the year. Lorwyn didn't have an insect theme to my remembrance.
Yeah.
And then we got Marvel in there somewhere, and MTG
Dude, the
Arena
MTG Arena Improvement set is going to be sick. All right, I can't wait to open a bug fix card. You know,
I like when they bring those mechanics. Like, what is Tutor in Arena now? Tutor, Seek.
Yeah,
or just searches up something random. Anyway, I don't know if there's going to be a bug set. Maybe there's some space spiders. Looked at that. We covered Altanak in a short. Pyroclasm coming back. Look at these little things. I like that these little things are little things on this plane.
Dude, those little things are going to be consuming rabbits. Well, I guess those things are getting consumed.
They're dying along with the rabbits.
Rabbits are going to get wrecked.
New Nico. Bringing in the shard tokens again. And I don't know if you've ever seen how many cards create shards. Nico creates shards.
Okay, explain this to me. Because I thought this was a new token type. Because I'm
shard tokens. I mean, it is, dog. This is the second card ever. The first card ever that had shard tokens was also a Nico Eris card. They've got this Planeswalker that they just kind of whip out. This is the second time they've used it, and it's got this interesting mechanic, enchantment tokens, but this is the only thing that creates them.
Oh, this is from 2021, so it's relatively recent.
Right. Yeah. This was call time.
This was like a playtest card that they just printed to see how shards work.
Exactly. I mean, 30 cents. You can see how well this mythic has aged. But yeah, I mean, it lets you create shard tokens when it comes in, and then you can -1 them to create shard tokens there.
Hey, you know what you can bargain?
A shard token.
Tokens and enchantments.
Does it double bargain if I sack a shard token? Get back to me, Mark
I don't think
Rosewater.
so.
I don't think it is either. When Nico Light of Hope enters, create 2 shard tokens. Those are enchantment tokens with 2 sack it. Try 1, draw a card. Pay 2, tap Nico, exile target non-legendary creature you control. Shards you control become copies of it until the beginning of the next end step. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step.
So this is, just to be clear, shard tokens are, I know I'm obsessing over the enchantment stuff as
All
well,
good.
but they are another way to sacrifice an enchantment.
Correct.
So things that care about sacrificing enchantments are going to be excited about this.
Sorry. Format. Standard. Is there any token doublers? Yeah, Mondrak. Bro.
No, this sacks, or this doubles token create. Oh, yes. Yes. Because this would make multiple shards.
Just tokens created. That is all we need. This doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. Nope. Mondrak. 4 mana. Kind of tough because you want Mondrak down before Nico hits. And unfortunately, we're not able to use Land War Elf in this deck.
I mean, that's not the only card that makes shard tokens, right? In the set? Or am I crazy?
It is. So far.
That we've seen so far. Okay. I thought they were going to be more around. This guy just cared, like, Nico's just brute forcing his, attempt at making clue tokens into.
Nico's like, I have a cool mechanic, guys, and they're like, nobody wants to use it, Nico, and they're like, no, but I make shards.
He's like, listen, guys, there's not enough tokens that you need in limited when you're playing paper. We need to just ratably create some more of them, so that you could look around and you could just you awkwardly yell to strangers, "Does anyone have a shard token?"
There you go. There's your shard token.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy some Kaldheim boosters and try to get a shard token in preparation. Oh, we should get some specs going on shard tokens.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody all in on the Aaron Miller shard token. I promise you, it will turn out better than a shard. See what I did there? Yeah. So Nico.
Speaking of that, there's Shark Typhoons available as promos at standard.
Oh yeah. Leyline of the Void returns. Leyline of Resonance is new. The first time I read this, I freaked out, but then I read that it is different than I thought. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only a single creature you control, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Cool. No, Nico's not she, her. Nico is... Oh. I believe Nico is they. I believe Nico is like a first non... Or not a first non-binary, but a major character non-binary. Yeah, they, them. Right.
Gotcha.
There we go. Nico's trans, apparently. A trans character.
My apologies.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it targets... dude, I read this. I glanced at this first, saw the card, saw the mana cost, saw this. I thought this was a ley line that was going to copy the first instant or sorcery you cast every single turn, and I was just like, oh my god. But it's only for feather decks type thing, heroic.
Oh, but there's a lot of those in standard right now. With cards like Slickshot Show Off, the mouse that...
Oh, it's not called heroic. What did they change it to, damn it?
Valiant.
Thank you. I feel like a boomer. Kind of the mechanic, but I did all different.
Emberheart, Heartfire Hero is huge right now.
Yeah. Love this card.
Yeah, if you mulligan till that thing is in your hand and you just put it down and then you start doubling all of your targets onto cards like the problem is that deck also runs enchantments, and this only doubles instant and sorceries, so you're not able to double some of the stronger enchantments that you want to play. Like there's the plot enchantment.
But also with this, you probably tweak that deck a little bit to take advantage of some of the stuff that might have come in with the set. Obviously, if there's a ley line of resonance in the set, there's probably some good target your own creatures type of spells.
Yeah, it's just you're going all in on the idea that you're going to get this thing in your opening hand.
But red also is good at discarding cards, so you can run 4. Use the extras as fodder. Hopefully get them in your opening hand. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less. Unlock costs you pay cost 1 less.
Oh my god, there we go. Again.
Now we're getting there. Now that thing only costs 6.
A couple more effects like this, and we're gonna be unstoppable.
Yeah, dude. Once we're stacking our inquisitive glimmers, we're living the life, baby. You can't stop us with our Fox glimmers everywhere.
Dude, the ghost vacuum art is so cool. I actually, it's so funny because I feel like I'm gonna have a love-hate relationship with the vibes of Duskmourn because I love all the the fun 80s stuff, and I am not excited about like this doll is actually made out of spiders.
I'm making a poll.
It's so cool.
I'm making a very simple poll. Do you hate this vacuum in MTG? The question...
I like this vacuum.
The question is intended to ask, do you hate a card called Vacuum in your MTG game? Answer now. Yeah, Ghost Vacuum... What did you just say to me?
Not just
what did you just say to
appliance.
Me? Oh, and a vacuum. I thought you were going to start a sentence with, look, in a vacuum, I like this. And I was going to kick you out of here.
It's overwhelmingly people are in favor of this vacuum, or at least neutral.
Yeah. At the very least, don't care. They don't hate it. I see.
Yeah.
As far as the card in a vacuum, this card pretty good. 1 mana, exile target card, and I love that. You go to reanimate? No, you don't. Sorry, I vacuumed that up.
That is sick, actually. That's why people shouldn't hate this having a vacuum in MTG, because like I'm going to never mind. Now it's in my vacuum and I'll get it back later.
I want to get this altered into Suck It and have David Wallace in the art. Zoop. It sucks it up. The lands, we have shorts and videos covering those. We won't go too far into those right now. Drag to the Roots is kind of cool. This is a reprint. Oh, what is it called? Mortality Spear? Yeah, baby. This is a Delirium version of Mortality Spear. Kind of cool. If you gain life, cool. Mortality Spear becomes a 2-mana destroy. And if you have your 4 cards in your graveyard, 4 types in your graveyard, destroy a thing. Pretty sweet.
There's that Valgavoth again.
Valgavoth. Oh my god. Victor Valgavoth Seneschal.
Oh, this is like listening to you cover Universes Beyond.
Schleschel. Look, don't ask me to cover anything Magic with doctors. Anything with doctors ever again. There better not be a medical themed set, because I'm not covering
Dude, that card, it looks crazy.
This card?
Yes. It just does not. I know that we were just talking about Doctor Who, and there's so many people that are like, something doesn't look like a Magic card. And I thought for a long time that was just like a goofy statement. But this thing is crazy. It just looks so much like a card from a different game. I
agree with you. This is one of the most unlike a Magic cards that I've ever seen, especially for one that's not in an SLD. It is not some special promo or trophy for winning one of the major tournaments. This is just in collector packs. And so I couldn't agree with you more, man. It looks dope. I like this art. Kind of crazy looking. I'm into the aesthetic. But
it's like if they just started printing something that looked like a Pokemon card. I'd be like, that does not look like a Magic card. You know, you can for me, that's maybe the line is where when you start getting into cards that just look like they should be in a different card game.
I think it's the stroke. They put a pretty heavy backing stroke around the name of the card, the mana cost, the text on the card, types and stuff, and symbol to help offset what is a very dark piece with a lot of blacks in it itself. So it'd be kind of hard to read, get lost in there with any of the highlights. And so I think maybe it's a little bit that it's I'm a no frame card, but I also have a frame in the background kind of look. It's interesting. I just think it's an interesting frame. But yeah, it is one of the most unlike an MTG cards I've ever seen. Look at that art.
Yeah,
this one just looks cool. They were like, we're gonna have a cool looking creature for the Overlord.
Yeah.
And then new Tyvar, 5 mana built in.
Joel, what happened to him?
He got a fanny pack.
He lost his spark. They're all losing their sparks.
Oh yeah, they got desparked.
We are not. One thing we do not spend enough time talking about in the Magic the Gathering community are planeswalkers losing their sparks. It's a pandemic.
That set was disappointed to me. Watermark desparked. How many do we have? 18 so far. Pretty soon you'll be able to build a full deck of desparked legendary creatures to be your Joda or your chromatic bridge, whatever that thing's called.
Yeah.
Deck. And that'll be kind of a cool little thing. These are all desparked planeswalkers.
That's when you say, like, no, the power level of my deck is much lower because it's an entire deck that's been desparked.
What do you think Tyvar keeps in his fanny pack? Do you like his vest?
That seems like a personal question. I'm not going to ask him.
Where did he get the fanny pack? Is that from Kaldheim?
This is tap another untapped creature you control, and then he gains indestructible until end of turn, and then you tap him.
You have to tap Tyvar as well, so you can't block. So if they go to kill it, you want to deal with this one by going to kill it before you go to combat, so it's got to force into a tap.
Right.
5 mana. This is the cost of an overrun. Overrun is the classic card.
Yep.
That does the thing. So we got the mana cost of it, but we're getting X is the greatest power among creatures you control, which is old buddy. What's old buddy's thing?
You could in Commander you can do stuff where you're playing creatures that are massive but can't attack, right? And then you can do you can have them swing out.
Absolutely.
Or with creatures.
Absolutely. Let me look and see. Sort by rarity would be best, please. Thank you. Ah, yes.
Oh, by the way, I love those enchantment creatures. Yeah, these are super cool.
These are what we'll be chasing. We're gonna our giveaway for our drip stream on the 21st is Duskmourn collectors, and so these are what we'll be chasing. Glimmer foil. What is this called again? Fracture foil.
Well, I just even mean like the art is really cool. Like there's like a little lamb. One of these is a lamb that I think looks sick. The lamb glimmer.
Type glimmer.
Yeah, that. But where's the other art of it?
Oh.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that little lamb, Joel.
I would hit that with a murder.
My God.
Okay. Boom.
I see. Like I'm just happy we get cute little lambs like that whenever we're dealing with dolls that are made out of spiders.
Just like this. I would murder it like this.
You're a father. All right, we should we should get back into this because I'm curious. So this is that card itself. Did we talk about that last week, or did you guys talk about this?
Enduring Innocence?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about this one yet. We've gotten some interesting takes on power 2 or less cards. Delny was earlier this year, and now Enduring Innocence. They have something to say.
Yeah, I think it is. I really like this that they're pushing in this direction. I like the idea that you can play a bunch of little guys in like a commander deck and do some cool stuff. It also just like my Nelly Borka deck runs Delny. And it, there are just some decks that play some little creatures that have some fun effects, and it's just pretty neat to see another one of these cards come in. I'm excited about it.
This card's down to $13. That's pretty interesting. This was like a $40 card. Delny's Streetwise Lookout's the card we're talking about from earlier in the year. Murders at Karlov Manor. Creatures power 2 or less can't be blocked by power 3 or greater creatures. And then ability of creatures you control power 2 or less triggers. That ability triggers an additional time. Going back to what we were talking about earlier.
And that glimmer, it doesn't say non-token.
Nope. One or more other creatures, period.
Yeah, so like if you're generating tokens, which is there's a huge token deck in standard, but also obviously tokens are huge. Token creatures are huge in commander as well.
Yeah,
like
they've moved towards this. They want token creatures, I think, to be more of a thing, and so they want them to be more applicable across the board. And so they've moved more in the direction of we're just going to have the things that we don't want to be uncontrollable trigger once, and that's it, done and done.
But the nice thing that kind of because obviously that does not feel great when you're like, okay, well I can only trigger this once per turn. But the fact that even if this dies, it comes back as an enchantment, that is, I think, really cool. Especially if you're just trying to deal with. Like, I do wonder if long term, not to go off topic here, but I do wonder if there's a way for Commander to start moving to a situation where you get more of these effects.
Yeah.
Where when there's a board wipe, it doesn't completely reset the game, and there's some stuff still on the board because it kind of keeps things moving. Obviously, Farewell is going to get rid of this, your favorite card, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these types of effects I think are really cool.
Oh yeah. I like these glimmers a lot. I think this design is cool. I'm excited to see the others if we haven't already. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but having these effects that are like, these are pretty famous cards, like Enduring Curiosity. This is Coastal Piracy. Yep. Coastal Piracy has been around and played forever. Arcadian Masks back in, what is this, 1999. Yep. Heck yeah. Now here in 2024, they are reprinting it as a creature that when it dies just comes back as that enchantment. Also, the F word is on it. Yeah, I like this cycle. I think it's really cool to, what is this?
That looks like a
Sanguine Bond or Exquisite Blood.
And that cat looks like Bill a little bit, which I think is Jake's cat.
Yeah, it does. There you go.
Just want to shout it out for him in case he ever watches this VOD.
He will.
He better.
The design on this Planeswalker is something I think is so cool. I was tweeting about this one. A creature or a Planeswalker that is a creature that.
This is the second time this has happened this in the last like 4 months, by the way.
What?
Where you have a Planeswalker that turns into a creature.
Oh.
Because Oko also does that. From OTJ.
Yep. I also want to show you a young man, sort date, by the name of Gideon.
Oh, I've seen this card before.
No,
yes.
this isn't the first printing of Gideon, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
No, it's there. It's at the top. It's at the top, right?
Oh yeah. From the very beginning, yes. Rise of the Eldrazi. There we go. From the very beginning, Gideon was our Planeswalker that was a indestructible creature. Go out there and fight on the battlefield for you. What a cool character. Yeah, and so it's cool now, yeah, that this has become such a thing. I love coming at it from the ninja side. Unblockable. Giving it hexproof. Nice touch. Necessary touch. Nice touch. Being able to use all abilities the turn a Planeswalker comes in. I love that so much. I think this card is really cool.
So in the last 3 standard sets, we've seen this twice. I wonder if we'll just start over and over again seeing this type of thing where it's like it's a creature with hexproof at some point in time under some condition. And I wonder if there's like a design principle behind that's leading them to feel like Planeswalkers, because obviously they're limiting the amount of Planeswalkers that are in, but also the ability to turn them into creatures. I don't know if that's like a thing where they're like, they really need to be able to do that if we're going to keep them balanced in a certain way or something.
Right. Yes, Rogue Bullhead, that +1 would stack. So every time you activate that +1, you get an additional emblem that says ninjas you control get +1/+1. And then you got to look at each, or however many you have, and count them all up together.
Dude, by the way, are there any other emblems on a +1? Because that just seems crazy.
Yes, there is one other, and it is... Oh, God. Oh, it's a Gideon. It's a Gideon. Back to that.
Well,
Gideon of the Trials.
They're just really taking that Gideon stuff.
It's not a +1, but as soon as you play Gideon of the Trials, you can 0 for an emblem that says as long as you control a Gideon Planeswalker, you can't lose and they can't win. And so...
Yeah, it's so crazy to see emblems that you're just going to have to start stacking up.
You can also use Ally of Zenda cards. People typically didn't do this, but you could use Ally of Zenda cards the turn it came in as well and just sack Gideon. So basically just paying 4 for an untouchable anthem with the emblem there. But yeah, it's rare.
The alt art on that that Planeswalker also looks sick.
Oh, I'm getting reports of 2 more. New Teferi. Sunset. No, Suns is this one? -2?
Yeah, but
This
you have to do stuff to get that.
This ain't exactly what we're talking about. New Sorin. New Sorin.
Maybe they're talking about the MH3.
Oh, this one has the -2 auto emblem for +1/+0.
All right. Well, regardless, I think just the fact that you could just keep plussing him every turn for an emblem just seems pretty crazy.
It's sick.
But the alternate art on that also looks so cool.
Definitely. Got 2 different versions.
Yeah.
Meat Hook Massacre 2 is kind of a letdown, like sequels typically are. We've talked about Screaming Nemesis. God, that card looks cool.
That is super cool. Wait, can I look at, or can we see Wandering, the Wandering Rescuer? That
5 mana, 3/4 flashing, convoking, double striking. Other tab creatures you control have hexproofing. Wandering Rescuer. This card's going to be a pain in asses. Many asses are going to be pained because of the Wandering Rescuer, I promise.
That is so cool. And the alt art on this also looks amazing. I didn't realize that they were doing whatever the showcase is, this like portrait stuff.
Yep.
But that looks amazing. What is that, a special foiling on it that I've missed?
This is the textured version of this. This is called the I forgot. Hang on. Collecting Duskmourn.
Look, at the risk of
double exposure,
doing, being accused of pumping this too much. I feel like after doing the stream with you, I'm gonna go pre-order a collector's because some of the stuff looks sick.
Yeah, so it's called double exposure, and then this is
looks sick, and then the texture that looks amazing, dude.
Textured double exposure. Let's go to set DSK is textured. Is this gonna work?
That looks so cool. I really like that.
This is all we've seen so far. Textured. Okay.
Oh, there's
Valgavoth's digital representation of the textured foil double exposure. I'm starting to think that maybe is, I don't know. I guess Valgavoth's just not in here yet. Valgavoth. There it is. Doom, 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 doom. That looks tight.
Yeah.
I love
those
this
are
flat.
So cool.
This flat text box combined all into one flat color. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I dig that. Oh, nice. This was illustrated by Pig Hands. Great. That farm does great work over there.
It's impressive.
Some of the best work that we've seen from Pig Hands.
I think one of the takeaways from reviewing these previews with you is one, a lot of the, like, this is what I was already thinking before as I'd seen a lot of the other previews. It just seems like they're doing a lot of really interesting stuff in this set, which is neat after Bloomborough. I think I understand why they did it, but I think they went a little bit more simple.
Sure.
With Bloomborough stuff.
Safer too.
And then I think a lot of the art and the visuals, they're blending a lot of different things here, right? Like with sort of the ninja stuff, but also some of these like Japanese inspired cards that we've seen. Like they're really all over the place in the set with art, but I kind of like it. I like almost all the visual representations. I mean, the rooms look sick. Like those textured cards look amazing.
There's another one. The Tyvar Pummeler is a
Tyvar, yeah, like
double exposure textures, rather.
I hope they do a secret layer that has this style. I would love to see other cards with this.
I bet they will. It does look cool, man. It is like I said, this one is kind of the pleasant surprise of the year for me. I think I was most excited about MH3. That one delivered, but it's a different kind of set. The standard sets, I was most excited about OTJ this year, and that was kind of a letdown. And this one I didn't really care too much about, and now I'm like, yeah, it actually looks pretty sweet. So maybe that tells you something about going into these preview seasons with preconceived notions.
It kind of reminds me of LCI last year, where because it was in the same spot, really, like as the last standard. I know obviously we have foundations, right? But this is for all intents and purposes.
A supplemental, right?
And I think it was a similar thing where a lot of people did not know what to expect with, like, a lot of people really excited about going back to Eldraine because Throne of Eldraine was such a popular set. And so I think Bloomborough had that same, like, kind of comfy vibe situation. People didn't know what to expect out of LCI. And it was maybe a theme that, obviously we'd been on that plane before, but I think they embraced even more of the themes that we had not seen as much in Magic.
Right.
And I do feel like there's a good chance that this thing ends up being also very, very awesome, very similar to that, because LCI was kind of like a sleeper hit at the end of last year.
Oh, 100%. Loved that set. People loved that set. Look at this alt art for Meat Hook Massacre 2. I saw this artist tweeting the full high-res image of that, and I was just like, bro, this piece is so sick.
Yeah, this is where it's funny because I like a lot of like the retro wave 80s style stuff, but I feel like this art is cooler than the frame that we're seeing it in.
Oh, dude.
With this.
They absolutely are pooping on a fantastic piece of art by putting it in this frame. I'm not shitting on this frame. I think this frame is fine.
But this is borderless would look so cool.
Bro, getting this and not putting it in a frame with no border, rough. You put it in a frame with a really thick border, by the way. You have less art on this. The thing is like,
people have not been really excited about this enchantment, so I feel like it's not going to be something that necessarily gets reprinted in the future.
No. But honestly, the set is looking really sweet. I am so pleased with it so far. Like I said, quite excited to have something to look forward to with this set, because I really wasn't. And I think that it's not only going to offer a lot of pieces, it seems, to Commander players, but as you said, Standard as well. They are personally paying you for every person that signs up for Standard, right?
I think so. I haven't gotten the check yet, but I do think it's there. No, honestly, Standard is sick right now. It's funny for me to say that as somebody who has not played Standard much, but last year around this time, I remember thinking about getting into it with rotation and just being really annoyed at like Shieldred being in 500% of decks and just being like constant removal all over the place.
Right.
But I just for me, it's been really fun where I go and play in paper and I just see a different deck every time. So I am excited for what Duskmourn brings into the format. I think it's gonna be really cool.
I am excited about that. I'm excited about the Standard supplemental set bringing us Land War Elves later this year. Rogue Bull, I just noticed when I swap back over, I forgot to change our stream monarch, my friend. I'll leave this for the beginning of the next stream as well until somebody unclaims it. All hail stream monarch Rogue Bullhead. Rogue Bullhead in the stream.
It's time to head into our next segment now, where we're going to be talking about foundations and what we think
we're going to talk about volleyball, the set coming out at the end of next year. That's what I want to talk about.
We're getting into the next segment now, where we're going to be previewing all of 2025, giving guesses and hints based off of what we've heard and what we know. Joel, would you like to start us off? What in 2025 are you most excited for? And feel free, everyone, to use the timestamps. This will probably take up the next hour or two. Joel, are you there?
I'm excited for Marvel.
Oh.
There you go. That's what a good interviewer does, a good interviewee. Very succinct 2 or 3 word answers.
I can keep going for the next 2 hours, okay?
Well, that's because you're a consummate professional and I'm just faking it. I bought my blue check on Twitter, Trav. Did you earn one of those before that was a purchase?
Yes, I did, and then it got taken away from me.
No shit! Oh, man.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, no, my value on Twitter fell dramatically after my blue check mark went away. But I still have it on YouTube, as I'll say in the chat right now, at least on this channel.
Yeah, how do I get that? We need to get that on YouTube. How do we get that?
You just have to know some people,
What is it?
Here's what it is.
It's not 100.
You get enough people sign up for Standard, and they give you the check mark on YouTube.
Oh shit! Wizards has got some pull over it.
Yeah.
Over at the Googs.
Yeah. I hope that Jake gets a speedy recovery from his COVID. It was unfortunate that I had to give him COVID in order to finally make it as a co-host on the show, but I think that, you know, he should be fine. It's one of the lesser variants, and I'm hopeful that he's ready to play in Duskmourn pre-release whenever I run that in a couple weeks.
Jake is one of the lesser variants, like that frame that we don't like from Duskmourn. I do appreciate you, Travis, filling in. Chat, we appreciate y'all hanging out. Love y'all, mean it. New video tomorrow. And have a great rest of your weekend, y'all. We're going to call it for tonight. Big shout out to our sponsors. Also, did want to mention, if you're still here, if you're planning on going to the summit, that event is trying to reach a certain threshold of tickets sold so that they can pay their venue and keep that event happening. It's a little under risk, I believe, right now. So if you are planning to go to the summit, if you were already planning to go, haven't purchased your ticket yet, go ahead and do that. We've already gotten confirmation that if they have to cancel it, they'll refund everything, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to worry about that. But they do need people to, if you're going to go ahead and buy your ticket. So use our link, go buy your ticket, and let us know when you did, if you did, and we'll message them over there. Got a lot of fun. If the summit makes, we got a lot of fun JAJAM activities that are being sponsored by that event that we'll be able to do while we're there. Any community members who are going. So summit.
Yeah, I'm hopeful to be able to attend as well. I've enjoyed it the last 2 years that I've gone. I'm still figuring it's funny because it's happening around the same time as Arcane is getting released, and I doing League of Legends stuff. There might be some responsibilities that prevent me from making it, but I'm hopeful to make it. I think there's a chance I'll be able to. So
what kind of coverage do you have to do for the show?
That is still to be figured out. But last year there were a lot. So like last year I went to the premiere, or not last year, last time, season 1, I went to the premiere. They did a whole experiential thing that I did a vlog around. Like there was a whole bunch of stuff, and I think that season 2 will probably be a little bit smaller, but just want to make sure that, you know, if I've got some stuff I need to be doing in LA, that I can do that
100%.
But also, by the way, I not to commit a faux pas, but I have been uploading some content to a Magic the Gathering channel called Travis Gafford MTG. There are 3 videos up there, but there's also a bunch of other videos that are linked from my content on other channels. So if people did enjoy hanging out with me this evening alongside Joel as I hosted his show for him and carried him, you can go see all of that on my YouTube channel.
Travis Gafford MTG, you're not committing a faux pas at all, by the way. Wow, if you type in Travis Gafford MTG, it still only shows Travis Gafford.
Yeah, the channel only has like a couple hundred subs. Like I have not
we can fix that.
It's something I'm doing more as a hobby than as a financially revenue generating situation.
I just linked it there in chat, y'all. Go sub over there, Travis Gafford MTG. Absolutely not a faux pas. I was gonna get you to pump it anyway. Oh, I actually mentioned that was the channel I tagged in the title of this stream, so you can click on it there too. I just dropped it in chat for those of you that are here.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's it. Love you, mean it. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully Jake